1 p.m. is too early to stream. It's just, I don't know why. It's like eating. I'm just such not a morning person. I know it's not morning. It's just, I wake up around 3, which is awful. But actually, I don't wake up, by the way. Like, I wake up at 8 p.m. usually. I feel like I threw myself under the bus there. No. But yes. Oh, we got that going. Good. I wonder if we should turn off the music in the game so that it's just less heavy all the time. Because it is quite... It's like, chill out. Too much. There we go. Much more quiet. Like the ambience. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. It is Sunday. How are y'all? I had one hell of a morning. Jeez Louise, dude. I don't even want to tell you about it because it's nasty. Oh, it's cold though. I'll keep this on actually. At least for now until we get streaming. Now get hot and get warm. But ladies and gentlemen, how has your day been? Hopefully it's pretty good. We are going to be continuing with our grind through Zenless Zone 0. Also probably give some love to Withering Wave today as well. At some point in the stream. As well as react and watch some fun things. But the main thing that I want to address and do is just clean up these events that I've been kind of waiting to like get done. Also probably like finish the story because hot damn, story's still like just sitting there hovering essentially, not completed. But before that, let's do the funnest event ever, which is mixing matching these cute little like a little dog. Oh, I forgot to fucking do the companion quest yesterday. I told you guys to remind me, but we all forgot, so it's all fucked up. This is this. Great. Oh, also, before I get too ahead of myself, we do need to go and talk to, I always know how to get to it like this. Training arena, this. We need to go get Piper her next tier thing, so that way she's constantly getting all the energy to level up. Go, 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 go. Hello. Put me in here. Where's Piper? Good. Piper has been grinded to the dirt. Perfect. This. And this.
Touch mates only the.
Oh, she didn't reach max level yet. Well, damn you, Piper. We have that. So I guess I'll just throw her in another random place like this.
Is it worked?
Alright, Piper, do your thing, I guess. Alright, good. How long does it take? 10 hours. Ha! Jeez, yeah, after this I probably should start spending the points to level them up because it's getting rough. It's getting quite spendy. This dog thing, new stand, perfect. Yes, we are going to be wrapping up this day, this stupid event, which I shouldn't say it's stupid. It's not my favorite thing. Why what? Why is it broken? Go. Does he need to not be asleep? Oh no, it's asking me to go somewhere else, I think. Or is that we're having another quest? No, yeah. Why? Why am I not allowed to talk to you? Turn page. No. That's odd. Is it because he's naturally asleep? Do I need to like pass time? How do we pass time again? Oh no, it's because I'm in a quest. That's where it is. Damn it. Alright, well, we need to do this quest then. I forgot we're still in quest time. That's why we can't do anything. Got it. Shit. Okay, meanwhile, it's some oil field thing.
Boss, here's the new route distribution sheet. The newly expanded freight routes have been assigned to the Sons of Caledon as per your instructions.
Yes, put it there.
Uh-oh.
Boss, you've worked so hard for these new routes. Are you really going to just hand them over?
If it weren't for Moore stealing the intelligence, I wouldn't have had to go through all this trouble. By the way, Moores insists he acted alone. What do you think?
Well, boss, you know Moores was also thinking of our best interests.
You're giving me the answer to a question I never asked. But you don't seem too surprised by all this. Wanting to win isn't a bad thing. But since I'm the reigning overlord, we have to act with integrity. The Motor League's stability ensures the safety of the oil wells. If there's infighting, someone's going to get taken advantage of.
Because we're doing story, might be. I want to do this. Turn this off. And turn off. There. I don't know why I moved that all the way there. Boom. Alright. And back to auto. Sorry.
By the way, I heard that you've had a lot of dealings with companies in the city lately.
That is absolutely untrue. It's just that we had some issues with the protective gear we arranged for the oil refinery. I had to find a way to handle it.
What a little snake. Anyway, sorry, I forgot to go on Twitch. Hi, Twitch. Sorry, you're like 10. Yeah, it's only been 5 minutes. Again, it doesn't mess much, but we're playing ZZZ. We're doing things. Sorry. That's my bad. I thought I hit go on Twitch. I guess I did not. But yes. It's good to see again that this guy he seems very much like a playable character. Like, God, I hope. Yeah.
I hope so. Lucius, you're smart and ambitious, but always eager for immediate results. Don't let your cleverness backfire.
Yes, boss.
Oh.
These documents never end. I've been feeling exhausted these days. Am I getting too old for this?
Not at all, boss. You've been talking about the Tour d'Inferno a lot lately. You're clearly raring to go.
Well said. Caesar may have some potential, but she's not ready to replace me yet.
But boss, please don't overwork yourself
say,
for the next few
spike
days.
the drink.
After all, for this grand event, you need to be in peak condition.
What a little rat. What a little rat fuck. Anyways. Hello, Turd and Inferno things. Are we done now? I do need to make more preparations. Yeah, am I okay to do things now? I don't know why we want to do things now, but I want to do that event just to bang it out and be done with it.
Touch my tail.
Not that.
And now.
Where are we going? Impact, no event. This. Yeah, I'm hyped for that, man. I really enjoy the fact that the one guy, again, like, he seems like such a cool playable character. We don't have any, like, and again, it kind of is nice because they still haven't really bridged the gap. Maybe that's unfair to say. They kind of have. When it comes to Seth, he's kind of a soft boy archetype stuff, whatever. But we also still have, what's his name? Where's Robot Man, who's basically a dude, you know? I can't find him. I have him maxed out, so I should find him.
11,234, said Lord Green.
Oh!
Recorder of videos, streamer of games, protector of digital women, curator of VR mods, and owner of the Holy Discord.
I don't know about all that. Specifically, the protector of digital women. I'm not sure about that. I'm more just like, they cool people. I'm not throwing my life away for them. Where is the robot guy? Am I blind? There he is. Jesus. That was impossibly difficult for me. Anyways, what's good, Cat? How are you? We're playing more ZZZ. We're pushing through the story. We're getting after it. But anyways, basically, we keep seeing that dude, that biker dude, and the biker dude looks so fucking rad. He's like gigantic. He's got like old man looking strength and shit. Looks wild. What's good, Lone? How are y'all? Good to finally have you. It was just me for a little bit. But yeah, I was trying to get to unlock this. There we go. Wake up. Perfect. Now I can do the event, and we can do the funnest thing. I was actually hoping to do this without you guys, because it was just kind of boring. But let's do puzzles. Ooh-wee. No, that was where I gotta hit go. I think this looks right. Ooh, also, damn, look at that lady over there. The bee salon looking good. I'm currently out shopping. Oh, that's awesome, Lone. Enjoy your Sunday shopping spree. Kat says, I'm playing a ton of Assassin's Creed 4. I've been playing, I love being pirates. Yo-ho. Yeah. I was going to say, what do you call it, man? That's funny you say that, because I was just watched a video that was on YouTube that was basically like showing, it was basically like Ubisoft has regressed or something like that, and it showed specifically Black Flag, and the water looks fucking gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's like blue. The waves look nice, and then it cuts to like that Star Wars game that they made, which are not entirely the same probably, but still, it was just like such a contrasting difference. Where like, damn. That looks like hella good, you know? Oh, I can't put it into certain places? Huh. This? Does that make sense? Yeah, it does. Okay. This goes this way, and this goes this way. And this is up here. This is up here. This is there. Wrong. I kind of did that wrong, but fine. It worked out. Anyways, boom. Good. Second one done. We got bang a couple of these. Sorry for the kind of malaise. Yeah, boring bit. Now it's getting a little bit tricky just because it's kind of hard to see anything. Corner would be top. Yeah. This is the other one, I think. No, this. And then I think this. This would be where? Up here? Over here? No, up here. I feel like I'm stroking out right now. There's so much going on. No, over here. This. This. No, that's not right. This? Yes. And then this here. And then this. Yeah, I must have fucked up one there, and then it all, like, normally perfectly locks in. That was quite the many attempts. Anyways, Primo Gems, it's only 60, so is it worth it? No, probably not, but it's such a, you know, Cat says it looks gorgeous, but it runs so terribly. I'm on a 470 Ti. Oh, I think it's the same as me. Really? It still runs like shit? 32 gigabytes? Yeah, same as mine. Yeah, shit. And it struggles to hit 60 maxed out graphics. Oh, yeah, maxed out graphics might be a thing. Sometimes I feel like I'm not sure if it has it, but like I think we've been spoiled by. It's funny because you think that you'd go back and play like an older game like Assassin's Creed, and you think like, oh yeah, my PC that's like modern day would be able to run that shit easily. But so many of our experiences, especially if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, is like saved by NVIDIA's like DLSS or whatever it's called. Which basically lets like render it lower, but then upscale it with AI weird magic. And all these old games don't have it yet. So you're like, if you went back and played it, you'd be like, oh shit, actually no, it's a little sketched. Let's do this. Eyes are there. No, it's not quite this. This, and then. Is that right? No. I find these are like, it's all about speed. Like if I'm always satisfied with myself if I do it quite quickly. I guess it's the opposite. Yeah. Wasn't quite fast, but it'll do. That's not right. Okay, where would that go? Oh, up here maybe? Oh, no, here. There we go. I was close, but not quite good enough. Boom. Where would that button be? Oh, all the way at the bottom of the corner. Odd. And then this thing would be there. This would be here. No. Would be here. Yeah. This would be here. Oh. Cat says, I mainly love it for the sea shanties, as I have a major fear of the deep. Bro, I was about to say, Subnautica sounds like it would not be for you. Then Cat, as well as have you played Skull and Bones, or whatever it's called, like the one game that they've recently made? It's just crazy. Lone says, I'll be here, but I won't be chatting until I go. Gotcha, I know, makes sense, Lone. Appreciate you just being here, though, but feel free to enjoy your Sunday also. We'll miss you, but yeah. I know it's probably weird to have you have a phone out while you're also out and about. Don't get hit by a car, all that stuff. We need you in this world, Lone, all that. Like the bad one to grabbing, it's this. I don't know why I have the urge to scream every time, but it just feels like your brain's like staggering, like and you're like shit. Oh, that one's a weird one. Nope. There it is. It's his foot. And this weird ticket thing would be here, and then this would be here. Nope. Here. Where? This? There. That. Is it here? Yeah. And then this here, and then these here. Done! Golly! Once again, another 60. What is this also? This thing. I can't see what it is. It looks like a little boombox. Complete the puzzle for the weird boombox thing. Radio. I don't know what that is. Wait a minute. What? Wait, what? Is that right? Foil? Yeah. Foil. What's good, Foil? Damn. Oh, the dog just sitting there. Wait. Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You ain't just coming here. Ladies and gentlemen, that is wild. What do you call it? It was insane, like serendipity weirdness. I was scrolling through YouTube. One of this like awesome ass art popped up in a thumbnail where it was like, I don't know, it just looked beautiful, like a shadow walking through like an empty plane or something like that. Anyways, clicked on the video because it looked like it was a song. Clicked on the song. Song was absolutely fire, man. So fucking good. I look and I'm like, these songs are great. So then I ended up like bull rushing through a ton of them. And they're all kind of varied in a weird way. Then I look at the channel description. The person's basically like, hey, I'm a retired, I think, like musician. I'm just throwing up some of my songs. The songs are great, but then I'm also wondering, I'm like, is this? Are like, because they're like the songs are so, they have such crazy variation of like some of them sound like badass. How do I phrase this right? But it's kind of like Linkin Parky, like edgy, yeah, but still awesome. Of course, it's the same stuff I like. But then there's a couple that sound like Japanese K-poppy, etc. And I'm like, is this like AI generated music? But or is it like some of it is, some of it isn't? Or is this dude just had like the fucking most absurd career on the planet with so many different artists working with them? Because it's quite the barometer of thing. But maybe if you're in the music industry for a long time, I'm so curious, Foils. Yeah, unless I'm misunderstanding this, but I think that is the name of the channel. It's pretty iconic. But also, first of all, if this is the person, and I'm not just a psychopath, love the music, even if it is AI generated, because it looks so good. I really fucking dug the one that you did like slowed, which normally I find a little, and if it's slowed, it's kind of sometimes done really poorly. But for that one song you did it with, holy shit, dude! I don't know what it is, but it's just that tempo is crazy. What's good, Bolty? Also, what are the odds, by the way? Yeah, well, probably maybe you see something like, oh, someone subscribed to me, all that stuff. Yeah, what's good, man? Unless that's, I should click on the title, the name, sorry. Sorry. To see if this is the person. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just a psychopath. Maybe it's an entirely different name. It sounds similar to the one I've seen. But, what's good, Bolty? Bolty says, Mobile Bolty here. Everybody's out on this Sunday. Hot damn, I was about to say. we're gonna have too many people up in here because maybe it's Sunday, maybe people got shit going on, but it's kind of fine because we've been grinding the same old. So I understand that people getting a little bored of it, or a lot bored of it. Both are fair. Yeah. Cat says multi-bolty. Also, Cat says I'll miss Lone and Fluff text to speech update on their gotcha progress. It's so quiet. I know, yeah, it's a little quiet. Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes streams get quiet when things aren't really happening or people end up not being here. It's okay though. Everything's gotta be that way sometimes. You know what I mean? People have lives, but I do appreciate people who are here, irrespective of that. Skill and Bones says Cat says Skill and Bones looks like a boring gameplay loop. And Subnautica is the scariest game to me than any Silent Hill or Outlast type of game. Damn, man. I was about to say, Cat, do you have any experience that made you afraid of the water? That gave you like a phobia, so to speak, or like a thalassophobia? Because I have some stories, man, where we were in Portugal and we went on like a little vacation there. Beautiful country, beautiful place. And holy shit, dude, I got like picked up by a wave when I was in there, and the ocean's scary as shit. It picks you up, and like the wave picked me up and just laid me like flat out hard as shit, and I was like, damn, damn, man, it was wild. Hit like a truck. You know what I mean? Anyways. But outside of that, what was it? What was I going to say? The most scary thing you can ever feel is like the overwhelming power of nature, and in this case, it's a current. If anyone's ever had to like...
Catman 11,234 said, my experience was that I've spent some time in Florida in the Keys and I almost fell in a school of jellyfish that were entirely clear.
Ooh!
The only reason I saw them was because the water was darker.
And then did somebody scare the shit out of you and be like, that could have been your death? And you're like, oh, what? Excuse me? Jesus. The ocean's scary, etc. I was going to say, though, what do you call it, man? If you've ever been, like, pulled into a current and how, like, demoralizing it is to realize, like, you're going full tilt. You're swimming as fast and as hard as you possibly can, and you're not moving at all. And if anything, you're getting, like, dragged out to sea. And then, like, in your brain, you're like, if this continues to drag me out, it's just going to, like, drown me. It's going to keep pulling me further and further away. Oh, man. Ocean is scary. Now, with that being said, I love the water. Let me tell you, get me in a pool, I'll stay in there all day, forever, right? But it's that ocean and shit that's a little funky. It's a little, like, stop. Stop, please. We have this here. And we got some of this here. Bolty, have you finished this event yet, or nah? Oh, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to put that over here. Actually, that might have been in the near-ish. Nope. It's down here, then this here, then this here, and then this here, and then this here. I'm freaking out. I'm doing too much. I'm doing too much. I'm losing my way. Is this it? Yeah, it's last one from over here. Oh, we have so many more to do. Hot damn. Cat says, I adore lakes, rivers, ponds, and places because the water is clear and I can see 50 feet down and there's nothing in there that will kill / maim me. So you're more afraid of like the monsters and like sharks and shit and all that stuff. Jellyfish, probably the most silent killers. But man, what do you call it? I mean, I don't know, like lakes, at least where we come from in Canada, our lakes are pretty fucking muddy. And like pretty dirty. You ain't seeing 3 feet deep down. I mean, but still, yeah, it's definitely different. To me, I don't know if I've ever really been in the ocean as far as like tasting salt water, because we're always in Canada, we have lakes, so we don't really taste bitter salt water. It's insane. Is there more after this? No, we'll leave, I guess. We'll stay and do this. I want to know if this is the last one, because this was getting pretty insane. If I just slowed down and we were just chill about it.
Catman 11234 said, I'll send a pic of the lakes I spend time in the Discord.
Ooh.
They look almost tropical.
Oh yeah, what do you call it? Well, I think there's like Lake Louise and shit that are like blue. But that's a very rich place to be. That's like a very expensive place in Canada. But maybe I have something similar in the States because I feel like that's where you're from, Cat. That and then this was down here. And then we have to find that shell, which let's find this thing first. And then egg. Here? No. No, here. It must be here. Yeah. Ba 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 da ba da ba da ba da ba ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da da ba do 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 do. Huh. And second one done. These are pretty images, man. I don't know what that style is where they have like honestly it probably makes sense for that's actually a really interesting thing. I never really thought about that. It's a good way to add like contrast to like your main subject, but there's like behind that image there's like a grid. It's like almost like it's like wire mesh almost. But it almost makes it so that you don't see that on the stuff that it's not. Almost like it takes away the detail, which is cool. Anyways. Bodhi says, again, I'm not playing ZZZ. Not at all? Oh, I thought you were. I thought you still were playing, Bolty. When did you stop? I mean, maybe you did tell me this, but I feel like... Yeah, maybe no. I think that's starting to ring a bell a little bit. Hot damn. So what you playing then? I've spent some time in Great Lakes during storms since I love to sail big boats with my buddies. Really? That's such a very specific like hobby. Also, sounds difficult as shit. Like, damn. Yeah, man. Damn. That's shocking. Yeah, it's like someone being like, "Hey, I rebuild cars." It's like that level of complexity, and like, holy shit, that's a big thing. You sail? That looks like the most complicated shit ever. Bolty Bint told us he's stopped playing. Guys, I have to manage 17 conversations. Okay, I don't want to be having. Come on, Grin. You try this. It's hard. I try to keep note. I keep knowing people from like 20 years ago. Again, I'm not playing, and also I am reading some new manga or manhwa. Okay, I was gonna say, Bolty, the one thing I actually am really curious about, all the other stuff, I didn't give a shit, but no, I did care, actually. I was just curious, not so much about you playing Zenless Zone Zero. I always ask you that just because it's what we're watching, so it's the highest probability that that's the thing that you want to talk to me about, maybe. But the thing I want to know about is have you made a dent in that book thing, that like the story you were writing? Because you really I scrolled for like. That must have took you like a whole day. But like I scrolled through that ChatGPT, like it like grinding out things for you, which by the way, holy shit, talk about like a super assist for like just as far as just killing it. You know what I mean? Do you send me one of the things? I'll look right now. Discord. What tab would it be in? Zenless? No, definitely not Zenless. What are all these? Oh, these are things that Fluff showed. Oh, that's so cool. The mods for. Oh, that's so epic. This is what Fluff was showing us yesterday about about the game. Zenless has mods, so this is that's actually some like pretty gnarly outfit. Like that's like she doesn't normally have any of this, so that's like a very big difference as far as what she looks like. And that's Billy. Billy looks the least cool to me, I think, but yes, Noelle looks crazy because of course she does, because again people are crazy. But let me see where share Grin. Oh, damn. You have a whole ass video, too? That's gorgeous. That is gorgeous. Those boats look expensive AF. Expensive
Bolty
AF.
said exactly, Grin. It's such a huge help, but I've been still on doing some research on my story, reading manga.
I see. So I feel like it's funny, Bolty, because I feel like we have a different approach in a lot of ways. Because for me, Like when I was starting to do it, I don't even have, like, this is one of the things that Wire for Story, which again, just pirate that shit. Both pirate that shit, get an audiobook and just, like, get the audiobook of it, Wire for Story, and just listen to that whenever you're like walking around some shit. It's such a good read. It's like such a good like reference point. Anyways, what was I saying? One of the things it talks about is something that I think is what you're doing right now, which is basically just trying to get a good overview for your whole story for like the first
Lone
book.
Syndicate said, P.S. When Grin says Noel, he means
I do,
Nicole.
thank you. Sorry, I mean Nicole. What there's a person on screen. I'm sorry, and dyslexia. But I hate saying dyslexia because it feels limiting. It feels like also like, maybe I'm making excuses. I could do better. Anyways, but what was I saying? To me, man, the one thing I noticed when I started writing is I felt like I clearly hit like a bottleneck of like, I want this to be fun and good to read, like actually read, not like the ideas are really fun in the way that they're being unraveled, but I wanted it to be like, how clear of an image can I create in a person's mind? And I'm sure, like, I mean, maybe you'll get to that point too. But I think, like, again, you're probably trying to tackle, like, I want to know the overall story before I start writing, which is probably the best. And then the next step would be to be like, okay, I'm going to start writing. And then you realize, maybe the words aren't really, like, as clear as they could be. And maybe I'm not pacing things out and knowing how to, like, give credence to, like this dialogue that's happening between these people, and then also representing their emotions based on their physical features and stuff like that. But to me, that was one thing that shot out to me. So I'm like, I want to nail that down, because I feel like, at least for me, I almost enjoy like the spontaneity of like, I know where my character wants to go, and whatever emerges there, I think is what's fun. You know what I mean? Not necessarily like, and I think again, it's different people, because even in the book that Wire for Story that I keep telling you guys about, it talks about that, where there's some people who definitely just like to, almost like, they say it's like a mantra, but like some authors will never write the same story twice, or can never write the same story twice, because they already know how it's going to end. They already know how it's going to be. So that idea of like unraveling something is in itself what makes writing the story interesting. I agree and I disagree. I could see you going both ways, basically. You know. Multiman told us he stopped playing it. And right now I'm having fun with Dragon Ball Sparks. Ooh, not right, the Dragon Ball game. Yeah, you told me that when you came on a couple days ago. Yeah, that makes sense. I was gonna say, I mean, I've seen those games. And those games looks, it's like it's kind of what Kat was saying, where he's like, I don't really know. Like, there's not a lot. It doesn't look like, I'm not sure what the loop is. That like, what are we gonna be doing a lot? Same thing with like Dragon Ball Super, where it seems like it's just a beat 'em up. So like, that's always been a harder sell for me, because it's like, I'm just gonna be throwing down for 20 minutes. You know, long ass time. 20 minutes is not a long ass time, but you get the point. Yeah. Let's focus on building this lady. Her shirt is not in frame. Is this the tail end of it? I think so. It was not. Cat could be here. Other cat on the other side. How cute. Did I get these mixed up? Nope. Off a little bit.
Lone Syndicate said the loop of fighting games mainly comes to online PvP.
Yeah, it's the satisfaction of improving, I bet. But I don't know, man. I need to feel like I'm progressing. I don't know what it is. I'm sure it's like some sort of horrible, sad analogy where like I need to feel like I'm experiencing growth or whatever. Like it could be a very toxic thing, but at least to me, it's the one thing that to me I feel like is my North Star a little bit when it comes to progression and stuff like that. Where is this? Where the hell is that? Oh, up here. We do one of these. Rope and dope, bang! Let's see, I think that's that one. Where the hell? Oh, it took a long time. And finished. Boom. And what is this? Popular freebie. I don't know what that means, but okay. Popular freebie. Neat. All right. Anyways, that event is done. The title of the stream is not a lie. Got him.
Lone Syndicate said it a name card grin.
Oh, just a name card? That was not worth it. The primogems might have been. Also, let me catch up everything. Let me see. Sorry, I got rid of my head with that. Having fun with Dragon Ball. I even got the game $100 game version, which I managed to scrape up by selling some Counter-Strike skins. Really, man, that's hilarious. Counter-Strike skins seem like just such a it always seems like fake money. I mean, like, it's the most fake money that I think exists, and that's right next is crypto, I guess. Moti said, exactly, Grim. It's such a huge help, but I've been still doing the research and reading manga. Yeah. I was gonna say though, but that blew me away. I'm so happy you showed me that, Moti. I still don't know if I'm like, I feel like you're a little bit younger than me, Moti. So I feel like you really like, you tapped into ChatGPT, like seeing your log. I was like, oh motherfucker, you know exactly how to use this thing. I'm still kind of like, what do I ask you? I don't really know, you know. Nicole looks the best. Bolty says, I'm only doing a base concept. I personally am not good at writing, so I want to have a proof of concept. That makes sense. It makes sense to have something that you can kind of go through. And I always wonder, yeah, I mean, things cost less than you think. I think if you went to Fiverr and you got like some kid who was just fucking grinding at like writing for years as a hobby, and then he's like, yeah, I can like bang out like 300 words, nothing, like just a couple, like a chapter, easy, boom. And you're like, hey, can you like take my idea and make it sound not shit? And even if you just use like, pay him like, what is it, probably like $30, maybe more, give and take. But I feel like that's the whole point of Fiverr, is that you're trying to just like get a quick, not the best work, just like a good bit of work, just to see, and then use that as like a building off point to kind of see how another perception of a person does this. Let me see. Also, Fola does respond. He says, oh yeah, Fola got a bunch of artists on the channel. I think the slow/reverb might
said,
have been
Grin,
dark
I am studying computer science in university. I have to know how things like that work.
Oh, okay. Let me see. I think the slow/reverb might have been Dark Loop by Jackal. Kind of unreal to have someone know much. Okay, no, so that's what it was for. Like, yeah. Okay, so I was wondering what the channel was, because it did seem like it fell into that category of a person who is, what is it called? A person who's like basically creating like a music channel, which, by the way, look like they be popping. Like, yeah, man, I found this one that was insane. In kind of a bad way, a good way. Dude made like the most thirst-trappy anime profile thumbnails you've ever seen ever. But he's out here. Good for him, I guess. You know, that's cool that you say that, for. So I don't have many people who run YouTube channels to some extent. So it's cool to have someone else who's actually like a content creator. Appreciate that. You popping in and saying hi. The loop fighting games mainly come off online stuff. Also, Kat says, I sent him to share. Absolutely. Yeah, no, that water you showed us was crazy. It looked beautiful. What would you guys rather prefer? Clear water or like that fake as hell, but like, oh my god, it looks like Kool-Aid, like the blue water? Blue water or clear water? What if the clear water was a little like...
Lone Syndicate said ZZZ update bonus is coming in less than 5 days.
Oh! Also, what's good? Tissinu? Hi. Hello, Tissinu. How's it going? It's going pretty good, Tissinu.
234 said, speaking of toxic improving, I am at 900 hours in For Honor, and I still hate the game, loudly crying.
Yeah, I feel like, but at the 180-hour mark where you were like, hell yeah? You can call me Chia. Thank you. Chia, I'll try to remember that, Chia. What do you call it? It's funny you say that though, Kat, because I've seen so many people who have that relationship with like League and stuff like that. Same thing where they're like, I hate it. I hate it so much and I can't stop. And I hate myself because I can't stop. Bodhi says, Grin, I'm studying computer science in university. I have to know how to use how that thing works. It makes sense. Good future proofing. That's hella like sounds like complex as shit. Computer science, shit. What does that translate to, Bolty? So like job acquisition wise, are you like You're gonna be working as a what is it called? The people who basically are like the mega mind. They're like the last person to get fired. It's like, is it not IT? Is that what it is? IT? They're like the last person to get fired because no one fucking knows how this works. Okay. Also, huge clear water. Grin, I sent those pictures. Old games equals blue water. Newer games equals see-through water. I just like I like motion. That's my main thing. I don't really care about the color of the water. I want that like, oh dude, I seen this. Let me find it. We'll take a break. I'm not ready, I guess, because I want to show people something cool. Pause. Check this out. It'll take a long time for me to find it. Give me actually an uncomfortably large amount of time. I can go to back in my watch history and I can find it. Where is it? There it is. There it is. Check this out. This is 8K. Because we're on a stream, you guys won't be able to appreciate all this. I'm so sorry. Maybe I'll be able to look at the graphics. But this is Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk with Realistic Unleashed, which I guess is a mod, which is 8K textures. The faces are kind of like I don't know, like high detailed faces always kind of look like a little. At a certain point, you get diminishing returns because like you're not gonna like be like zoomed into their pores, you know. But the cars, dude, that's a game. That's a man. You can tell it's a man. But that's a game, dude. Also, NASA computer for sure running it. But yeah. But there was one scene here that I thought was the antithesis of all this. It wasn't this.
Catman 11,234 said looks AI generated.
Looks AI generated, but does this look AI generated? Oh my god. It looks so good.
Light said no way this is a game.
It's a game, Light. This is Cyberpunk. It is literally the game. And it's crazy because there's scenes that like will literally fuck you up. Like, I think it's this one. It's like right around here. Go. Check this out. Okay, that was okay. This one's fine. That one right there. Look at that shit. It'll hit. That. Just wait for it. What a little raptor in the trees. But all of this is insane. Like, like the still shots moving forward like that, it's just crazy. I can't even handle it. You know what I mean? This also looks nice. Like, imagine if VR could exist and you could, like, be in this level of quality. It'd cost probably, like, $10K to do that because everything's expensive. But, yes. But what was the one thing? It had, like, one scene here that I thought had water, and I thought, this is my shit. This right here. That. It's not water, but that reflection, dude. Look how wet that water is. Look how wet that street is. It's not like a lake or a mass of water, but hot damn. The reflection. Look at the reflections on the light over here. Oh my god. It's all moist. It's also moist. And then that. Oh, dude. Oh my god. Guys, when you look at this, know that you see easily, probably $6,000 probably. A PC, the monitor run it, bro. But it looks so good. Is there one with water? Like an actual lake? There's gotta be one with water. Anyways.
Light said, anyways, I think Zenless Zone Zero should get Best Mobile Game of the Year.
Probably. Yeah, probably. I wouldn't disagree. What is it called? There was one that, if you look at any of these games, even when we look at Skyrim and shit, like, there's a bunch of ones that just go crazy. Is this one also? This is all Cyberpunk. Again, same shit. Let me just find one. I want to find a moment in it that has water, because I thought I seen.
He said this will probably run never on any system.
Never. Not once. This guy is probably got like a fucking server, one of those server computer PCs, which is literally just like a giant ass thing. Okay, I guess it wasn't water. Maybe it was Skyrim that I was seeing. But Skyrim. This is also Skyrim, a video game that's like 10 years old. This one, you can start to see the cracks in the thing with the animations. Like, the animations are kind of like, there's some parts that are a little less crazy. Like, the hair physics, S tier. The body and armor, S tier. The ground and dirt and like foliage don't look like they're a part of the same mod pack. You know what I mean? They seem like, also like the roofs, like that's supposed to be hay, I guess. Doesn't look quite right. But yes. Yeah, also like this, it looks like it's almost like weird like detail. Some of it looks odd. But yeah. Great lighting. Great lighting. Walking around at night. It looks good. It looks good, dude. It looks damn good. Anyways, but yes, that's what to me water like.
Light said this is insane.
It's insane. It's wild. It's modding is like, again, I can't describe to you how impossible that is probably to achieve. Like it is easily like 3 days of nonstop modding troubleshooting, and you'll maybe be able to play it for like 5 seconds before it crashes. But that 5 seconds, dude, it'll be unprecedented beauty. Also a huge clear water guy. I seen that pic, and I should at least check out the stream in the channel. What's good? Light says hi. What's good? Bodhi says 900 hours in League of Legends are rookie number. Yes. People is toxic. People be toxic out here, claiming that 9,000. Dude, I remember back in the day when it was hard to get 300 hours in Skyrim. You know what I mean? Because there was not that much shit to do. Oh. Let me be clear. 300 hours in one save, not like your fucking 80th click character. There's definitely ups and downs for For Honor, but going 10 to 0 is like, dang. It's like a drug. And going 2 to 10 is killer of a... Yeah. Anyone else remember Grinn's For Honor? You shouldn't remember. This was at the very beginning of the game. I never pursued any sort of... Yep. Oh, just basically a program. Okay, that's huge, especially for the future. But this is a very... I'm actually curious because I seen there's a bunch of channels out there that do like coding and whatnot. Also, if you guys are wondering why we're not playing a lot of the games, because Sundays are also our talking day, so that's kind of why I'm like, game is secondary. But my chest. But I seen some people say to me the coding thing is really interesting because I do think coding is one of those weird areas where it's infinite complexity and all of these things. But I also seen this one person who I really watch a lot. I think he's called like The Main Show or like The Big Show or something like that. But anyways, he does a lot of like coding in insert whatever program type it is. And one of the things he was talking about is how like AI is good, but it's not that good. AI is not going to make a dent in any of this. I mean, it can maybe help with some side stuff, but it's just not going to be able to. And I agree because I do agree. Like I think coding has like a crazy amount of complexity. I don't know, man. Art also has, like, a freakish amount of complexity. And again, to me, like, I know people have heard this to death, but to me, the idea is that, like, just to be very simple about it, if you look at where it started a couple years ago to where it is now, holy shit. Like, you know what I mean? Totally, like, if you just took the same amount of time and said, like, what will we have in that same amount of time that it took to progress? Yeah, so to me, the programming thing I do think will probably be the last man standing, so to speak, from all like the things that it could make a massive dent in. But like, again, I would have thought, like as far as AI is concerned, I would not have thought art, which is some of the most like complex and like hard to rationalize and contextualize, and all that stuff. I would have thought that would be like one of the last bastions, but instead it was the first. So it's like starting here and then. I don't know, man. It just because it conquered such a big giant so early on, I'm kind of like, damn. So I'm curious what you think about that, Bolty.
Light said my favorite end game is the non-timed Shiyu defense like ambush node or disputed node.
Sorry about that, guys. I should never take off my headphones because I don't realize I'm talking over AI voice and we're all fighting over airtime. So yeah. But yes, the reason why I wanted to ask Bolty that is because I wonder if someone who's in that field how they're feeling about it, and if there's any like, no, I'm totally confident in this because I know it. I know how complicated all this stuff is going to be, and even though I can see how impressive it is, there's still hurdles that it has to do in order for me to be like, okay. And again, I think also there's a mishap in that where it's like, oh, I'll just use it better than than anyone else, which is I think also why Bolty's probably getting good at using ChatGPT as well. It's because it's like, okay, say this thing does take a chunk of my lunch, I'll just make sure I make it work for me and not against me, which probably would be Bolty's I think take on it too. I think it's most people's take on it, like kind of like, no, it's gonna stop progressing like only a little bit more, or whatever. Light says, have you tried Ambush Node? It's crazy good for you, and it not timed endgame. It's endgame, but it's how many characters
Volty
lose.
said, so far I only looks up solutions solved by others, but if you have an entirely new problem that has never been solved before, I tends to bullshit its way through in solution. This is why I is.
I say this is why AI is not the solution for everything. Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. But to me, I wonder, Bolty, that's a good question. At what point will the AI basically, because I think that probably would be the next push, right? The next push would probably be, instead of AI just like learning and like understanding everyone's past, all of like the humanity's consensus already solved problems. At what point will it get so good at the second part, which is thinking by itself to create brand new solutions, basically, which arguably it's okay at right now. Maybe like Bolty said, maybe it kind of bullshits its way through a solution. But at what point will it get so good to where it will turn over? That's, I think, where it actually becomes like a sentient-ish thing, you know? Lone, Cat says, Lone, I've posted a paragraph in the comments explaining what he did wrong and why he wasn't doing well. Oh, no, what do you call it? Again, to me, it's tough, man, because I think there's a time when you're like, as a creator, a content creator, you're playing a video game, you're not exactly like having a ton of fun with it anymore, and then there's like the time to either like heavily invest in this and like put up with the shittiness of not knowing what to do and all that crap, or it's like, I'm already not enjoying this, let me stop playing it, but there's nothing else to play, so like, what do you do? As like a gamer, you'll just be like, fuck it, I'll just keep playing it, or I won't. But if you make videos on stuff, you're like, well, this is what I'm kind of playing right now, this is kind of been my experience, and then you go do that, you know? So it's tough.
Batman 11,234 said, in a good amount of time we'll have the AI singularity. Since I can only take inspiration soon, the things they take inspiration from will be AI generated.
Yeah, I was about to say that's I've heard for a while there about the singularity, and it's really interesting. I like, as much as it may be like very deep into like, I don't know. I feel like every podcast I listen to, people talking about AI being like, it's going to change the world and all that stuff. So I think it's getting to the point where it's almost so much in the zeitgeist where it's a little bit like, here we go again. It's not that it's not true. It's just that I'm like, it's almost like Elon Musk at a certain point, I think, reached like such zeitgeist top of mind thinking that most people just wanted to like, I don't want to think about this anymore. Like get a guy out of here. You know what I mean? I think AI is starting to get to that point. It's not at that point, but I was going to say, I remember back in the day when I was hearing about the singularity, about how like if quantum computing or something happens, or if AI happens, or if robotics happens, or if any of these massive booms, that's what the singularity basically is basically that one technology will massively expedite the progression of other technology, and then create like, if AI is learned and like done really well, then it can make a massive dent in robotics. It could make a massive dent in like higher level thinking for like quantum physics and shit like that. If robots are made, for instance, like good physical feats of robotics, if that's created, then that can give people more time to create, to work less, to then be able to dedicate more time to studying these things, to then be able to bring AI into existence faster than it would have otherwise without robotics having been existing and improved. But it's interesting to see that AI, which is probably one of the most complicated ones, was solved first before all the other ones, which, yeah, you know. Have you guys seen any of the robotics shit? That's kind of hype to me. I'm not sure. We got all this AI talk, and I think about like this red dot on your computer that's like, I am here to kill you, Sam, or something. Opposed to like a robot basically like doing robot things is kind of neat. It still looks so far behind though that you're like, oh, I want iRobot. But the first gen, the gen that the ones that were like in the scrapyard and shit, I would take all of them. I would have an army of cool robots. It is also crazy that those fucking robots are just sitting there. Like hundreds of, anyways, it's a deep cut for a movie that's old-ish. Modded Skyrim is top tier. I've spent hours perfecting lower. Yeah, I'm about to say, Cat. And then what? And then how many hours you play? How many hours you play? Also, what's good, dog? I probably spent a total doing that. I'm about to say, yeah, a day total doing it. Guys, I'm telling you.
Light said, I love iRobot.
I do too, man. I like it a lot too. To me, that's the future I want. I want like a robotic. Honestly, I want Overwatch, but without the racism or the robotism, whatever you want to call it. I want that, where you have a homeboy, it's a robot, and you all have different strengths. You know, you have biological matter. You can like procreate. You can also, endurance is kind of higher too, all that stuff. And then robots, they don't need, they just basically need upkeep and shit. I hope a future like that exists, basically. I don't know if we're ever going to get there, but I think that'd be cool. Have a robot homie who's just like chill as hell, I don't know. I've run myself ragged. Like, I'm not smart enough to think about these problems, but I've thought about the problems of, like, when I'm working out or something, I'll be sitting there and be like, man, how would that work? And the only thing that comes to mind is like, well, we have to acknowledge probably that like, in this case, robot or AI or whatever, even if it's conscious, probably will have a different like value set, and to not think about it as like they're our slave or because that's what make me uncomfortable. I was like, if you could go out and buy like an android right now that looked like iRobot, would you use it? And I'm like, cool, you would. And then its follow-up question is, how would you treat it? But then the ultimate question is like, okay, well, what would they really be in our world, kind of thing? You know what I mean? Like, would they just basically be, like a maid? I feel like that's kind of fucked up a little bit. Like for like you to depend, like, oh, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to be a responsible adult anymore, or like take care of myself or my situation. The robot will fix it and do everything for me. That feels a little like weak ass, bitch ass shit. You know what I mean? I don't know if I like that. To where it would be like, okay, what if we instead just like acknowledge that robots may have a certain proclivity, or AI, whatever, may have a certain proclivity towards certain things, and humans might have a certain proclivity and for certain things. Like, again, human beings to me, I think, that's one thing I never understood about the whole, people always talk about how like dangerous robots are as far as like, they are like, it's steel and it's mortal flesh, like they would just eviscerate all of us. But then, I don't know if that's true, man. Like, if you look at
Catman 11234 said, I need an android to do monotonous house chores. Groceries, get the gas, dust, vacuum. Then I can focus on making money for my corporate overlords when Amazon buys everyone and everything.
I'm about to say, where's the turnaround? What do you know out of time? Game? Actually, I'd feel shitty gaming my ass off and then looking over my robot, like, busting his ass. Like, I'd feel like, the only way that I can stay like for me feeling like a good person is being like, okay, I have a robot roommate in which we balance out the work together and we take care of each other like homeboys should, etc. Make sure people are okay. Homeboy, that sounds like, I don't know why it has subliminal feeling of gayness and everything. like take care of each other. Point is, yeah, that to me would be the happy part of it, because again, I don't know why I feel weird about it. It feels like fucked up slavery a little bit, like, you know what I mean? Maybe no one else feels that way. Maybe I feel some people go crazy. Some people are like, it's a thing, and I'm like, yeah, but if it's nice to you, like how, like it's like people who have a like my baby, like they'll be like my baby, my car. They'll be like their car that they love so much. They'll be like, this is my baby. I take care of my baby take care of me, etc. I feel like I'd fall into that camp. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to be like, hey, you're nothing. You're just a tool to be used. I hate that. I hate that so much. You know what I mean? But that's what I was saying beforehand. I was saying the whole thing that never made sense to me is how people like devolve human beings' biological form and how incredible it is. The idea that you're able to not only like expend a shit ton of energy by eating stuff, get tired, get sore, and then your body self-recovers, and then you're able to do that again and again and again.
Catman 11234 said, now that you say all this grin, I really want to watch you play Detroit. Become human.
No! I don't want to. I'd be Team Robot. This is bad for me, guys. I'm a big underdog guy. I'm rooting for the underdog almost all the time, even if it's against my own race a little bit, unfortunately. But anyways, what was I gonna say? I don't know what it was. Some nonsense. Let me catch up on all this. Sorry, guys. I kind of got caught up in the whole AI conversation. No way this is at game. Phantom Liberty. Anyways, I think Zenless Zone Zero should get Mobile Game of the Year. I don't disagree with that. I feel like it's pretty good. Modded Skyrim is top tier. Read that. Alex says, I probably spend my day total doing that, CAD. The rookie numbers, Grin. I had an Oblivion save with over 500 and another with over 200 hours in. Whew. No, for me, I think I got up to probably like 360 probably, which is not crazy for Skyrim, but Oblivion was it's funny, man. The more I look back on it, sorry, the more I think Oblivion was at least for me, I think was actually like a better game, just because what I get out of like the highest level of fun that I get out of video games is like the gamification of the gamification of the game, I guess. Basically, like in Oblivion, you could like duplicate scrolls, and like you could get like weird powers where like the game just got stupid. But that's why I love I like when the gamey aspect of the game is so silly and so stupid that you can like pull the lever far too deep into its socket to be able to like get a crazy outcome. In Oblivion, you could have like stupid magic where you run up to someone, tap them on the forehead, and they fucking Harry Potter lock up and like fall to their face, and then you just start beating them in the back of the head with a sword. Fucking peak. Just awesome. Beyond awesome. You had like fireballs where you could like huck like tiny little fing, and you'd hit an enemy, and they would like fling back 20 feet. God, Oblivion is so good. Honestly, looking back on it, I think Oblivion's peak.
Said Team Android all the way, Grin. I'm with you.
Hell yeah, boy. Hell yeah. I was about to say, honestly, I would... okay, that's a question for chat. Would you guys want to be half robot kind of thing? I feel like for me, if I was asked this question, I'd be like, explain more. What is the context? Let's say for the first question, it's this. Would you want... Okay, say it's like Mass Effect Andromeda, where basically you get injected with like a serum, and then now you have nanites running through your blood and in your brain and etc., and you hear like an AI voice.
Hard pass.
Hard pass? Even if it was nanites, so you're not actually like getting any sort of like weird shit in your body. Like I could see if people like, I don't want to fucking have like a jaw that's like cyborg. That's weird. I don't want that. But I'm talking, what if it's just a little injection in the neck, and now you can think 20 times faster, you get stabbed, your body will self-heal because these nanites taking care of you, all that. You interface with computers because nanites are in your brain, it's shit.
Catman 11,234 said, Chrome me the fuck up, Tumba. Sandevistan, bionic joints, synth liver, Kiroshi optics, reinforced skeleton, fiber muscles.
I ain't going that deep. I don't want that deep. That's what fucks me up a little bit.
Said ID, take that all day, every day.
Okay, Cat and Nah, Team Cyborg, both the Team Human apparently. Light also Team Human. All right, now let me ask you a slightly different question. What if it was Venom? Not a cyborg, but an alien squid-like gelatin monster, but it was entirely your friend and only wanted the best for you. Wasn't all this crazy, I'm going to eat people, just like, hey, I'm a symbiote, I need to get to you, stay alive, I'll take care of you, make sure we don't die, all that, and you could transform into a crazy little man, or whatever, like a little goo man, whatever it is, venomy creature. Would that be fire or not?
Volty said yes.
There it is. I knew it. I fucking knew it. It's always the same thing. It's always fucking... It's always steel or biological matter, baby. It's never... Oh, it is always that same question about people who have a discomfort for metal and shit and like cyborgy stuff. They're always like, hold up. You telling me I can transform like Venom? Say less. And I'll be honest, if I could choose one, I'd choose Venom. I'd choose Venom 110%.
No.
Light says no. Light's still team. I ain't about it. I ain't about body modification in any capacity.
Catman 11,234 said, I am already a cyborg in real life.
Why?
I've gotten cataract surgery, and now I have constructed lenses in my eyes that glow in the dark like a cat's.
Fuck, really? Oh, I kind of... Catman. That's actually probably not just a one-off weird name. That makes sense. Hot damn. We're back into story mode a little bit. The engine Bethesda used has been some of the most fucked up physics in the best way. Yeah, best way for Oblivion. Well, also Oblivion did cool shit. Like that's why I think Oblivion is like goated as being like one of Bethesda's, if not Bethesda's best game. People like Morrowind. I'm not even talking about like nostalgia stuff. I'm talking about like in Oblivion. If you just spent like 20 million years jumping on a fucking bridge, your vert height was like fucked. Your vert height was like, I want to say like a two people's length. Like it shouldn't make sense. It didn't make sense. But the fact that like everything could evolve was just so sick. And then like they took off all restraints, and it just became a game where like if you're willing to do a lot of that thing, you become freakishly good at that thing. Was awesome. Also, sometimes your jump height meant you broke your ankles every time you landed. God, I love Oblivion. Yeah, I seen that someone said the more Oblivion or something like that, like Skyrim,
Lone
Sky Oblivion.
Syndicate said that'd be cool as hell, Venom.
Yeah, I'm about to say most people are Team Venom, at least a little bit, because I think you're already a human. You already got like a bunch of weird cells doing shit in your body. That's why I think the nanite thing is a little bit less of like a, you know, it's not like replacing your heart with like a robot heart and shit.
Gnawing Fetus said to the moon, grin to the moon.
Yeah, we'll jump to the moon. But that's why Sky Oblivion worries me a little bit, because like I see it looks cool, but I'm like, it's still, the baseline is Skyrim, and Skyrim had at least to me, it seemed like it had a lot of restrictions. Like I'm so shocked that I still have yet to see a true handgun mod, like a pistol mod for Skyrim. And I don't mean like retextured bows or wands. I'm talking about like, and there's actually like one bit of footage that has it. But I'm talking about like an animated pistol where like you shoot, you reload, you pull the trigger back, all that stuff. There's still not a mod like that in Skyrim, which is unfortunate. There's like weird things like where crossbows are retextured, but you can clearly tell it's still a crossbow. I digress. Let's listen to some story. Hello, Bella. Starting new quest. Let's rock. I'd love to watch you play Skyrim VR. What do you call it? Kat, we did that one stream a little while ago. I want to, and it's super hype. There's two issues, Kat. The mods that I downloaded like a Waba Jack pack, and it had like so many mods. And it was great. It made the game look awesome. It was the best VR like running mod order as well. Like it ran really well. We also played it on my older PC, and I have a newer PC that should be able to run Skyrim VR without a hitch. But the issue is that when the mod pack that I downloaded had one mod that basically disabled fast travel, and I ain't about like walking the entire length of Skyrim in VR. Like maybe when you're playing like on a keyboard you can do that. When you're in VR, it's like that's exhausting. Like just standing up for that long, hell no. You gotta make your time count when you're in VR. So I disabled that mod within like the massive mod Wabajack folder, but then it broke the load order, so it crashed constantly. Like honestly, I might have to like message you because you seem to like know about the mod order. Like I don't know how to repair the like. I want to take off like when you download a Wabajack mod, I want to take out this one mod without breaking all of the other mods. You know what I mean? I don't know how to do that. So if we ever did do the Skyrim thing, I might have to message you and be like, hey Kat, how do I not how does this not break up and blow up in my face? Hotter mod, yeah, that's the other thing is there's so many hotter mods in Skyrim. It's wild.
Catman 11,234 said it'd love to help.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I might need to do that one of these days because it's. I wanted to talk to you guys about that tomorrow, or not tomorrow. Sorry, probably not next week. Maybe next week. Next week is middle of the month, right? We still have one more week after that, and then like half of a week, and then we are finally into the next month. But anyways, I wanted to basically have like a week where we're basically planning. I probably could just make a Google Doc and like put them in right now. But like, I think the things. So I'm doing I'm doing a whole month of just streaming. So I'm doing every single day except for Sunday. We'll stream every single day at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time probably, and I may throw in like a 1 p.m. in there or maybe later just to see if I can catch some other people who don't have time, that kind of thing. Lots of streaming.
Light said I would make sure they couldn't do anything to stop me controlling them when they took over them. So they are in a never-ending nightmare. So that's the only reason I'd say yes.
What? You should have changed your name to Dark. Because hot damn. Shit. Okay, yeah, damn. It's more of like I want to torture them. Nothing to gain with the power or anything. I kind of think it'd be fire to have like a perma-friend permanently in your subconscious. You're just hanging out with, ride or dying. I might just be a very lonely person by nature, but anyways. What was I saying? So, the things that we have on the chopping block for right now to do like the whole month of streaming is essentially as followed. I really enjoyed the idea of doing a first-person Elden Ring. Was anyone here when I was showing off the Elden Ring mod? Hopefully you guys were. I thought it was insane. But basically, actually, I think I might have it still, just in case you guys want to see. So this is one of the things that I'm heavily interested in doing. Please tell me. I did keep it good. This. So to me, I think we could do one whole week of Elden Ring first person, and this I think would be really cool to I think it's visually interesting. It's like different enough to where I think if like I could make shorts of this, and I think it could be really fun just for people watching in general. So this is a first person Elden Ring mod. I don't know if I can run it, so this is why I kind of have to put stuff on the thing. I might have to like gamify it too. Like given how hard it is, I might have to like download mods that let me give my character like 1 billion health or something, just so that we can kind of suffer through it and survive. But that's on really high on the list right now. I think that's such a neat idea that I could like repurpose and like upload shorts. And I think people would find it pretty and interesting. Also, I think it's just such a novel idea of like, I see, people say like, oh, there's the new Elden Ring DLC, you should play it, but then everyone is playing it. This is a specific like, okay, this is cool enough to where I feel like people would be like, I'm just interested in the novelty of all this. And also be hell to play. So we'll have to like probably brainstorm, and I'll have to probably troubleshoot and like test what is the most OP thing to use in first person, which might be what this guy is using, which is like a poke weapon, just because it's a lot easier than the sweeping weapons to like be able to tell when your hit's gonna hit. Anyways, so that's on the top of the list as far as like that probably will most likely, if I don't get real tired and burnt out, I'll try to make that happen for one of the weeks of that we stream. We might even go 2 weeks with this just because it would be kind of good to have that. But then the following weeks, so there's 4 weeks in a month.
Lone Syndicate said I was.
Yeah, well, what do we do the other weeks, basically? And one of the things is like Skyrim VR could be interesting. I could download a Wabbajack load order. We could just play the shit out of that. That sounds interesting. Fluff also sent me that he had like this what was it? It was like this weird Robo VR game that looked neat that was getting ported. I just don't know if it's out yet. So, but regardless, we could do another like whole VR playthrough of like Saints and Sinners or something like that. And yeah, I wouldn't mind doing like 1 week of all VR stuff. I just would like us to have like a point usually. We're just playing Elden Ring. We're just trying to progress. We're just trying to survive. I like that. I like that premise. We could also do like Minecraft VR and see how that goes, because I do want to have some VR in there, But that's kind of what I'm not sure what we should do for that month, essentially. Besides this to me is one of the more like interesting, just in general things, and I hope my PC can stomach it, even if we have to drop a lot of the prettiness down, just to kind of be able to run it. Someone on YouTube already walked the length of Skyrim in V2 in a VR using a treadmill. Yeah. There's definitely those kinds of things too, which would be cool. It'd be so cool, man, to have a successful VR channel so that you get sent the cool VR specs.
Catman 11,234 said I'd fucking love a Back to the Past week. You play Borderlands 2, for honor. If only that one MOBA you played didn't shut down, etc.
I don't know about that. I feel like it's funny you say that, Kat. There's a remaster of a game that I actually was the first video I ever made on my channel. Flat out, period. It was called Shadows of the Dam. It was the very first playthrough I ever did on this channel. It's my oldest piece of content. It's my most like emotionally dead self. You guys ever want to know how much of like a wallflower doomer gloomer kind of person I was? First of all, I love that game, which tells you about like my fucking weird angsty nonsense. But also just my vocals and shit was just super gloomy and tired. And eventually I got comfortable and I started, speaking with hopefully some sort of energy. But they're doing a remaster of that, like a 10-year-old remaster, because we've been on this platform for too long. And to me, I so badly want to do like a redo. Like I just want to do a playthrough of that game. Kind of like as an homage of like, this is how it started, this is how it, but see, that's what I mean. I feel like it feels, it feels almost fucked up to do that, because it almost feels like this is how it started and this is how it'll end. And that's what I don't like, because it kind of makes me be like, is it time to like, take it easy a little bit, like, stream is significantly less, and I don't know, all that stuff, to me, I don't like, even though I would not, it's almost like teasing that idea of like, well, what if you sailed off into the dark night, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know why, most people would just say, well, just keep that separate, like, just don't do that, like, do the Let's Play without like having to have it be like a poetic end. But to me, it just feels cursed. How do I don't know how I can put it, and I don't want that. So to me, I'm kind of like, I'd rather not touch that. Maybe in like 10 years when I'm ready to be like, you know what, I'm ready to PewDiePie it, essentially. I'm ready to be like, hey guys, it's not like I'm not uploading anymore. It's just that it's significantly like my fourth priority in my
Lone
life.
Syndicate said that would be cooler back to the past week.
Yeah, to me it's a little too, again, I can't take away the idea that in my head it almost feels like it's like in mourning almost. Like we've done a lot on this channel and a lot of it didn't work. and I wouldn't have had it any other way. Peace, the peace part, like me, it feels fucked up. It feels like I know it's not the case, but it just feels that way. I can't describe it how it's almost like going back to the place you almost died at feels ominous. Like that same premise of like if you were at, like at this bridge, you almost died, you got real close, and then you're like hovering over the edge. You're like, bitch, I'm not trying to die here I get close to death second time. No, I want to stay as far away from that as possible. So it is neat. I'm thinking about that idea, but I can't displace the feeling of like how the sorrow that kind of permeates it a little bit, Like it'd be fire as hell to be like, we succeeded at YouTube, we got like 1 million subscribers, we're going back to play the first game we ever played. It's hype, you know what I mean? And then you're like, we're going back to play the first game we ever played, and yeah, and, it's I'm not sure if I like that, Well, wait, we'll go do that Let's Play when we've killed it, hopefully. I'd love to watch the Skyrim VR Grin. How did I mod something on YouTube? Hey that. Light says, the one thing I read. Nog says, if it was a mod pack, there's probably a random ass mod at the very end of the load order that patches them all together. Disable that and then repatch. Yeah, see, that was exactly what I looked up, right? So that was exactly what it was asking for, Nog. I had no idea how to do the patch thing, the repatch. So, like, that was the one thing that it was telling me within the mod order is like that this thing is like there's 2 points of confliction right here, and it was one of them was I think one of that like that repatch mod, but I didn't know how to open that repatch thing up and then change it. So we ended up just not playing Skyrim VR anymore because one, I was using my old PC, which was really old, so it could barely run it. But now I have a much better PC, so I should be able to run it perfectly fine. But yeah, I also had a specific idea that I wanted to do for the playthrough, which was basically I wanted to do a Skyrim summoner kind of thing, where like you just summon enemies to just like rip apart shit. Also, it made sense for us streaming so much of it because we could basically like summon our enemies, watch them kill shit while I'm reading chat, and we're not having to like fight hardcore weird shit, Also, to me, like Skyrim VR is best to play like a mage playthrough or a summoner playthrough or something like that because the melee combat is not very good. The archery stuff is pretty good, but nothing as good as like blasting someone with like your fire hands and just watching them melt and topple over. Like that's peak. But then you hitting somebody with a sword and like doing this a bunch is just kind of lame, First person Elden Ring sounds fucking hellish.
Lone Syndicate said we can do instead of Back to the Past week. How about a week where Grin plays games we recommend?
Maybe this.
Catman 11,234 said I've done a summoner playthrough, but it was Overlord themed, so I made Ains.
Yeah, I know. I
can
know
send the mods
that.
I used.
I can send. Oh, that's awesome. What do you call it? Yeah, there's a bunch of summoner ones I found that I tried to. That was the other problem I had is I used the Wobblejock mod and I tried to insert like I wanted to have a companion, like some companion quests in there that I thought were interesting, and it never quite played. Bodhi says, so Grin, I'ma tell you about the things I've read in my. Hit me with it, Brody. Hit me with it. And it's story funny enough could be copy of notes but slightly different. Gotcha. Hit me. Can't wait to hear about it. Grin, if you stop streaming, I'd just have to come to your house and convince you to continue. I don't know what that sounds. That sounds a little R-wordy, but okay. Well, that's now, so we're okay. Out of all the things, I don't think I'd ever stop doing. It's the streaming thing. It's just way too much fun, and not even just fun. It's honestly, it's like I don't have much socialization stuff. So this is like a big chunk of my socialization stuff, and I feel like it keeps me sane, especially when I'm very hermity in general. Like I keep to myself, which is not good because I love people. I just get kind of tired when I'm an introvert based on energy consumption kind of thing, which is literally like introversion. But yeah, the alternate is Speaking Zero. Sounds interesting. What's that? Speaking Zero. Yeah, Lone said that it could be interesting. You guys sending me games and we could give them a try. The issue with that is how do I put it? One, I don't want to disappoint you guys given the games you suggest. Two, I kind of like the idea of us having like an objective or a goal. I feel personally like that streams are at their best either when you've completely sunken into just shooting the shit. Like, it's almost like you're hanging out with your boys and you're talking about one specific subject. Like, we talked about AI there for a hot minute. We were talking about, then we went on to a weird conversation about, like, robots. Then we were in a conversation about, would you become a cyborg? Then we were in a conversation of, okay, if you're not going to become a cyborg, would you become, like, some sort of symbiotic bio creature, etc.? And it was just, like, a really fun evolution of a stupid conversation building off of one thing, which I thought was awesome. So that's when I think streams are at their best. Or it's when you have a specific goal that you're, like, pushing towards. Like, I noticed that when we were playing... what was it? It was one of these games. I can't think of what it was. It was one of the games we played last. Anyways, we had, like, a specific goal. Whether it's, like, beating this boss, or it's getting this item, or it's getting this character level up. Like, when we're working towards an objective, that's when it feels, at least to me, the most, like, satisfying, because it's like we have a goal and we got it. We have a goal and we got it. You know what I mean? Also, damn, thank you, Cap. Appreciate the support. Super chat for also you say you better not stop streaming. You'll coffee fuel her. Yeah, listen, it's just 1 cup of coffee and maybe 2 cups because it's the gamer subs as well, which has caffeine in it. But I appreciate the support, Cap. I gotta fix the fucking alerts. I guess they're broken still. Shit. That tells you how long we've had someone not subscribe to something. We do. But yeah, what do you call it? So that's why that's my point that I was trying to make is the notion that I could, like, you guys could give me a bunch of games to recommend and do. The issue is that I feel like it would lack focus of, like, us trying to achieve one thing in a game. Oh, that was the other one, Power World. I wanted to jump back into Power World for a week and try to, like, level up and progress and download some mods to make things funner and easier. And just have fun, you know, in that game, because it was a game that we kind of popped off with and then we stopped because it just kind of was. Honestly, I don't know why. I think it was one of those weird games where I loved it so much, and then there was other games coming out that I think made me, like, take a break from it, and then I just never got back into it, despite me enjoying the whole time playing it, you know. Nong says, I think it was Python 2. I used, is that right? Python 2. I used a patch them together. It's been years since I modded Skyrim, so it's a bit yeah, it was something like that. It was some sort of weird, like, thing that I, like, it was almost one of those things where you look at it and you're like, this is too much. This is too much for me, like, especially, like, if it was, like, going to be a playthrough and you're like, okay, this is totally worth me investing my time into this, even if it's just, like, 10 hours every day, or not 10 hours, sorry, an hour every day. To me, it was still not quite how do I phrase it? It wasn't worth it. We were streaming it on occasion. It was kind of like, is this necessary? Also, what should we watch? Is it this one maybe? No, that's how to install the mod. I'm trying to see if there's any other, like, first do that. Sure. 40-some minutes. Hot damn. This will actually be a pretty good, like version of what we'll actually experience in the game. Yeah, when you're actually playing, it looks a lot less cinematic. You know? Kat says, Wabajok is bad for incompatibility. I prefer using mod organizer. Yeah. I'm going to have to ask you about what's, like, the best thing. Because it's just not, the reason why Wabajok is nice because you're like, I don't, like, there's, like, 7 different mods for grass. You know what I mean? Like, you got to download those separately and shit. You're like, oh no. But maybe mod organizer is the same thing. You can download, like, a organized pack, essentially. Perhaps. Okay, so Boti says, on the topic of my story, I've read Berserk. I've read Berserk of Gluttony. That's a great one. I think Berserk of Gluttony is the one where he gets, like, a sword a sword that makes him get like he has to keep killing in order to get power, but then he kind of can't stop doing it. The title says it's all dude with the gluttony. Yeah, no, I actually know about it. Yeah, it's the same thing with the dude with the gluttony skill, but it's kind of sinister in the sense that it's like you keep needing to kill more, because the idea is, I think, that, like, the gluttony skill, like, it consumes the skill of the enemy. So if it's the gluttonous thing, it's gonna need more and more every single time. So it's kind of like that. It's like almost like the main character is walking towards an ass beating. Like, you know that eventually his consumption is going to get so ravenous that he's going to probably need to. You automatically become like a wraith, essentially. There's just like hungering for the next kill to satisfy your skill. That rhymed, but yeah. What he says, the skill makes the user hungry, so the MC doesn't think much of it. many years ago, but the MC ends up as a gatekeeper. Stabs a guy, and then he consumes his skill. Then something happens, and he calls someone for help for an outcoming threat, and he ends up killing someone was trying to flee from the raid. Turns out the MC has the power to gain stats and abilities by and it's the same manga I've seen it. It's a good one. I didn't finish it though. I got to the point where he ended up like swooning the one girl, and that's it. Like then like swooning meaning like there's this girl who likes him, and he kind of is like, I'm a monster, there's not really any hope for me, I'm kind of sketched out about this stuff, I got this sword that keeps telling me that like it's gonna end badly for me, but he's okay with that. It's weird. I stopped reading it a little bit because I was like, I'm not. It didn't have any emotional hook for me yet. It was cool. Like again, it's one of those things where like that was something I was doing Bolty. So those I don't know, just want to be up to date on this weird thing. Me and Bolty, I because I do so much like video idea stuff and all that stuff. I wanted to have like something that was distant but yet similar to what I already am doing. So I wanted to get into like writing just basically like novel writing, etc. So anyways, me and Bolty were both getting into it, which is cool. And what was I gonna say? That was the one thing that I came to, Bolty, was I just lost it. I had it. I lost it. Bolty said, what triggered that in my head? The gluttony thing. I basically was writing down all of my favorite manga or manhwa. All of it, and just like all the storytelling that I thought was truly beautiful, and what did they have that was so good? And a lot of them have like it's stuff like of course when you say it aloud you're like, of course this is the case, but they have like a really good way of conveying like risk. So like one of the best written story things that I found for manhwa, I would highly advise it. To me it's really awesome. And it's like one of the most undervalued, underloved manhwa that I've read. But basically, it's the story of, it's called like the bastard son of the wizard clan, or what it's called, or something like that. But the premise is basically that this guy who writes this novel, he gets pulled into his novel, and he ends up getting put into his like shitty King Joffrey, almost one-to-one like King Joffrey character, where he's just a shitty kid who's a bastard. He dies when he gets to 14. He's a part of like this long-standing wizard family, so there's a rivalry between the wizard family and then the sword family, and the hero of this book is the sword family's son. So he ends up getting put into like the wizard family's son. But they do such a good job in that book, not only about him having to get his shit together, like he's like this shitty bastard who's cruel to everyone, so everyone kind of hates him. So he basically is trying to like repair those things, whilst also being in a household like his like chaotic evil, essentially, or not chaotic evil, it's lawful evil probably, if anything. So the wizard family, by virtue of them being the antagonists, have kind of like neutral evil kind of vibe. So he knows he can't be like super sweet because his family will be like, this is bullshit, and he'll just get trampled on. So it's just really cool because like within the first thing, he ends up having like this run-in with his sister, and his sister is like, they show her in scenes of where she's like torturing a guy, like whipping the shit out of him. She like punches him so hard that she shatters his rib cage, but he never backs down when he greets her, because he knows that the character he wrote that character, so he knows that the only thing she values is like basically like a lack of fear, like a lack of any of that, like weakness. She doesn't like to see any weakness. So when she sees her brother not being scared of her, she kicks the fucking shit out of him. But then she also gives him like this like heart, essentially. It's like an emerald, or no, it's like an apple. That's what it is. It's an apple. She gives him his apple, and what do you call it? It's almost like it's like an 80% chance that you die when you eat it, but if you survive, you get a ton of mana, essentially, because they're part of a wizard family. He ends up making a I thought someone used text speech. He ends up making a deal with this librarian, who ends up like helping him consume the apple without like dying. But what stood out to me in that book, in that specific instance, which I want to talk to you guys about, is how they did such a good job about layering in this like, not only this fear of death, not only this fear of like the main character is going to die at 14. He's currently 8. He's in like his whole family is like bureaucracy nonsense. So there's like this tension about like, one, you have to survive, and two, this wizard girl like kicks the shit out of him. So you see how like ruthless some of his family members are. So like there's never this doubt of like the character. It basically made it so that the main protagonist who we're following has like fire at his back. So he has to push forward, or else he's gonna die, or else bad things are gonna happen to him. And if we contrast that with like the Berserk of Gluttony book, I never really felt like that. It felt like the guy never really even though it should, because like they kind of have the same sentiment, but I think it's because in that book they did such a good job about like making it so the main protagonist, you see how weak he is, you see how clever he is, you see how like you can see that there is a route for him to survive, and you're betting on that route. And with the Berserk of Gluttony, you're kind of sitting there in this like hollow, empty space of like, I can kind of see like he's kind of like setting sail for like an ass kicking. I know some things are dangerous to him, but he also seems so overpowered because he can basically consume any skill. So I end up not feeling like that same feeling of like I have to watch because the main character is like fighting for his life and every choice matters. And that to me is just what I drew a parallel to, because when I was writing all the things all the books I loved, all the stories I loved and manga I loved and stuff like that, that was the one thing that came up to me as like, oh shit, that's, at least to me, that's pretty relevant. Like that's cool that stood out to me. And I was wondering why that worked. And of course you think about it, you're like, oh, of course that worked because it did this, you know. Anyways, let me catch up on Bolty's comments. Sorry, Bolty. Got a little in my head there. We will jump back into Zenless, by the way, and bang out that story. The skill makes the user hungry to do that. Yeah. The area sin through the story sword begins his first companion greed. Oh, right, that's it. Yeah, it's a gluttony and then his sword's greed, right? That's what it was. Also, a cat says, Mod Organizer is good, but it has labels and alerts. Then things try to overwrite each other. It also has allowed you to save presets, so you can save, mess up. Yeah, I think that's... when I downloaded the Wabbajack mod, it made me download Mod Organizer so that all of it was like listed in Mod Organizer. So yeah. At least maybe you can download Wabbajack without the Mod Organizer, but I thought you had to do both. Or maybe that was just the one I had. Because that's how I could see that there was a fuck-up, you know, in the files. I didn't finish it either, starting something else, but many things from my notes were literally taken one-to-one. It's crazy. Yeah, you know, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, I don't think so, because, yeah, I would have told you if it was sounded too similar. Or maybe you had, like, more things. Because I didn't get to finish through all your ChatGPT kind of, like, note thing as well. I didn't get to finish all that, but I did see the first chunk of it, and I thought, wow. But yeah, I didn't get to see... especially like the survival skill and all that stuff didn't sound like it was like very similar. Like, I don't think you were plagiarizing it in a weird way or anything like that. Like for example, the SS Suicide Hunter has he has his swordmaster companion, and I, for example, had exactly the same concept for a companion only the MC could see. Ooh, that's pretty sick. Yeah, no, but that to me, I feel like you'd use that and it wouldn't be like cheating, you know. Like I feel like that's such a non-used concept of like, if those guys don't know, there's a manga where basically there's like a giant tower, and the basically main character gets a skill where he can talk to the 99th, a person that reached the 99th floor, so the very last floor, or almost to the very last floor. So the main character basically has like the most powerful being that has ever existed, like teaching him basically, which makes sense of like how the hell could this random newbie climb to the top of the tower? Well, he has the guy that has basically done it, except not, got right there and then died. Like for example that. Also, the hero has returned, has shown me that my main...
Catman 11,234 said the powerful teacher reminds me of Slime Tensei.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. It's funny because he literally looks like a Tekken character, like a Street Fighter character for sure, in the manhwa. But he said something interesting. He said, like, for example, in SS Rank Suicide Hunter... No, not that. If I were, and a hero has returned, has shown me that the MC freaking lacks power. If I were to have a fight against anyone else with my MC would be massively at a disadvantage. Interesting. I don't know what that's referring to, because I'm not sure if I remember that manhwa, Bolty, but what do you call it? Yeah, I think to me that's the one thing that I like when I look at the manhwa or the stories that I loved the most. They always do like a much better job, at least for me, about the power game. Like for some reason, for some magical reason, they're able to keep my interest despite the slow gain of power. Instead of a lot of Mon, which basically like they're terrified that you're gonna walk away. So like, and he becomes a god, and he gets a dragon wife, and the dragon wife loves him, and now we're on to something else. But like, you've already fucking busted like 10 times in the first fucking 3 hours of reading that you're like so fucking spent that you're like, what really matters? I feel like I've already gotten the story. Whereas a lot of my favorite stories are very good about basically like pacing things out to such an extent where like it feels like it takes a while for them to finally start to get stronger, you know? So I feel like that's the thing that, at least for me, I'm trying to be cautious of. It's like it's super easy to make your character like giga powerful real fast, and I don't like that. I think it feels good when you can see like effort was meaningful. Like there was work that was done. There was hints about something in the past, and holy fucking shit, did it ever hit? And it was worth it, you know. I also heard a return that I also got find the way to make the gluttony aspect work much better. No, I definitely think that's probably the hardest part about finding how to tune it. Okay, this is the last thing I'll say, just because I want to pay back Bolty for talking to me about all this, which I appreciate. What do you got, Bolty? One thing that I found with my story...
Bolty said, don't get me wrong, I think it's great to see my notes actually realized to see where my notes would be lacking.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea, too. Yeah, especially whenever someone has a similar idea to you, you could use that as the example of, like, okay, well, how can I learn what they did and do it even better, or find a way that what was lacking and then improve it? But let me wrap this up. So, what do you call it? No, we're going to keep streaming. I just wanted to kind of get back to doing some of the story stuff, because we're kind of been doing this for a little bit. What do you call it, Bolty? When I was looking at mine, and I told you guys about my whole weird idea for a story and all that stuff, but the one thing that I really kept coming back to, and I as I'm writing down like what's happening with him and God basically talking, or this kind of like omniscient voice talking to him. He gets the 3 skill trees in front of him, and then when I was writing, I was like, I think he needs like something that like makes this more fun, because if he just picks like skill tree 1, it's kind of boring. So I like the idea that he basically turns down an SS tier skill tree for like an A tier skill tree, just because it has much more like manipulatable skills, like skills that can feed into each other 10 times, skills that can be gamified, stuff like that. So I liked all that. I thought that was actually like an interesting thing that like most readers would be like, oh, that's kind of neat. You know, you didn't choose like the classic best in slot, whatever. But when I was doing all that, I kind of like the idea of adding like below the basically Grenadier, which is like an A rank skill that I want to eventually, like through a trial in the future that he goes through, for him to unlock like a seal or a pass that has, it's like basically takes an A tier skill tree and pushes it to its next tier, which in this case would be S. And I would love it to be Boom King would be the next tier. Man, okay, this is a problem. When you're talking about your story, you're getting ahead of yourself. But one of the things below the Grenadier skill tree, there's like a plaque, and below that plaque has these 2 little tally marks, and one of them, I forget what the second one I ended up writing to, but the one that I said was basically recoil. And it basically is defined by like, because of the nature of explosives, expect to have recoil. And the main character doesn't really know what to make of this, and the reason why the main character likes the like Grenader skill tree so much is because it seems like there's a lot of like manipulatable skills. Like I talked to you guys about how it has one of the weird skills where every single time you cause...
Catman 11,234 said, now you just need a long-ass Korean style title. I chose the stacking skills instead of the SSS tree, and now I'm gaming the new world.
That's a fire-ass title. Wee bit long, even by their standards. But that's such a funny thing. I was gonna say, it was about so he ends up one of the skills I told you guys, which I thought would be fun, was basically the idea that one of the skills in the middle way
Lone
point...
Syndicate said, Grin, now that I'm home, want to show you my new knicker.
Yeah, sure, hit me with it at the end of the stream. We'll check it out. We still have a lot of stuff to do today, probably still. I'm trying to wrap this up. Sorry if it takes too long. Anyways, I told you about one of his skills where it's every single time he applies like a splash damage, he has a chance of recovering a grenade, because that's the skill tree is Grenader. And then also I squeezed in there like recovers 5% of mana. So I thought there's so many cool things you could have with that. I like the idea of like a baseline thing in the world where mana is basically pulled from like the earth, from the trees, from the universe itself. Mana is like basically like taken and then used and then shaped and then put out into the world. So that's how magic is formed. But with the main character has essentially found a way to just infinitely spew out mana. So long as he's doing splash damage, he could reach the cap of his mana. And then basically what I wanted to have play out is basically like wherever he is, the earth itself, whether it's like if he's in a forest, the trees are growing with more strength, fairies and whatever love him, kind of like that idea of like we could play into that and have it be like, oh, everyone else is like taking from the earth and from the world itself to create these spells. You found a weird glitch in the system, essentially, that where you are just outputting shit tons of mana so that everything around you, the rocks, the water, the whole world, just like it loves you because you're actually like giving. It's like the same thing as like a herbologist would be in the same category of like something that the earth and whatever loves. Anyways, so I like that idea, the reason why I picked that idea is because I think it's the antithesis of like a scaling ability, where so long as you can basically massively detonate, so long as you can do a bunch of splash damage, you can basically infinitely chunk up your mana. But the main character basically makes a choice for this skill tree, knowing that this is in the middle capstone of the skill tree. So it's not one of the first skills he gets. So the skill tree that he chooses is basically kind of like weak at the beginning, but then becomes stronger as he goes. Like stronger at the end game, so to speak. So anyways, one of the skills that I thought, there's a catch though. So like, exactly. So Boti says sounds broken, but here's the fun thing. There's recoil. So one of the things I was like, okay, that does sound pretty strong. How can I offset it? So this is like the entire joke of his whole skill tree. And that one like defining characteristic below his skill tree that says recoil is permeated within like his whole kit essentially. So one of the things is he has that is skill tree. What they don't describe, which I think is such a fun little caveat, is like, okay, what do you call it? What happens when you basically bottom out your magic, essentially? So the idea is, okay, so you can basically generate a shit ton of magic. Say you like throw out 6 grenades. I also want to like put in something where like you can basically like regenerate your grenades with just pure mana. So the idea is like it's an infinite loop essentially. But the weakness is that the main character basically is constantly bottoming out on mana. So he thinks this is such an overpowered skill, but when he first starts using it, he starts like just projectile vomiting essentially, because when you have no mana, it's basically like your whole body just releases like anemic, you're pale white, you're disgustingly sick. So like there's a clear weakness that they don't really describe because it's not really relevant to the entire thing. It's like, of course, if you had like 0 mana, which is the nature of you basically spamming out these grenades, that would be the kind of catalyst, the course correct, I guess. But the main character, and this is kind of the whole mantra of the book I kind of want to write, is the main character keeps pushing forward, and the world rewards anyone who's struggling against whatever kind of weakness they potentially have, to where he gets like the classic Manwa skill, which is basically like what is it called? It's like steel will, essentially, like that, where it's basically like it steals your resolve to use the power. Essentially, it dulls your pain sensors, stuff like that. But anyways, one of the other skills I thought would be fun to do it with is the classic skill that almost every like good skill tree has, which is rampage of some kind. So it's like whenever you get a kill, you get 1 stack. That stack gives you 10 damage and 10 fire rate. But in this case, I still like the idea of playing off of whenever you like expend a grenade, you have I want it to be really wishy-washy, where like you have a 5% chance to get 1 stack. This stacks up to 88 times. And it's called, but specifically the skill name is like called, I don't know I wrote it down. Basically like infused blood or something like that, or like fused blood or something like that, or sparkling blood. But the point is, with this one, the name specifically gives away that like it turns your blood into like sparklers essentially. So it burns like shit with each stack, which I don't think skill trees have fun with. Where like, yeah, of course, like if you're like turning into a berserker, like, and the skill doesn't need to tell you, hey, by the way, when you're like, getting all of these stacking buffs, and it's literally called like Berserker's Madness, do you think that it's just going to be basically like, hey, we're just going to give you free damage? Or do you think every time you kill someone, your brain's going to get a little bit more sloppy, a little bit more fucked up, and then you can lean into it more, But I really am having fun with that idea of like coming up with a really good skill, and then coming up with a way for your main character to basically like patch its weakness, and then also coming up with the weakness itself. But that's pretty easy to like find out a goofy fun way of being like, it's good, but not without its price, essentially. which I'm enjoying. Also, that's terrifying. That is absolutely horrifying. Let's stop. Stop watching that. Jesus Christ. But that is done. Thank you for putting up with my random TED talk about my book and nonsense shittery that I'm writing. Holy shit, by the way, I haven't even written down like probably the 4th chapter. Holy shit. I'm realizing how much of a skill it is to write efficiently. To write with like few words and just to cover a fuck ton of ground. Because I find myself kind of like staying in this malaise of like explaining probably too much. Let me catch up on everything. I don't get me wrong. Let me catch up on everything. We are no longer lonely, says Cat. Now you can just get the Korean style thing. Patent that. Sounds broken. Infinite power is a reach for the late game, probably. Well, no. To me, that's the thing, though, Bolty. Like, again, I think overpowered is like a bad way to think about it, because like one of the best examples ever, like some of the favorite stories I ever read. It doesn't matter. Like, again, you have unlimited power. There's a guy who can before you can blink, he can basically just like unleash a slash that cuts you in half. Like, you having unlimited of anything doesn't mean that the person's like damage output isn't just eclipsed by that, you know? So like overpowered is always relative to what everyone else has. But also, yeah, to me, the idea that you can like recover mana via doing a thing, which is by like expending grenades and all that stuff, in this case, because it's every time you inflict splash damage, he can have a chance of getting 15. Yeah, what is it? He has a 15% chance to recover 8% mana or something like that. So it's not a lot, and but the reason why I made the skill the way I did is because I want it to be something that can be like, it doesn't seem powerful on the surface, because it's like, okay, there's like an 8% chance I recover like 10 mana or like 5 mana. What the fuck's the point? Like, all the ways in which I can like detonate this, like whatever it's like, casting a spell costs like 30% of my mana. I'm getting like a tiny percent of that back, and it's a chance. Like, what the fuck is the point? It's not very good. But the main character knows that, all it specifies is like at hitting an enemy with splash damage. That means if there's a spell out there that can detonate with a shit ton of splash damage within one cast, holy shit. But there's problems with that. What if the enemy walks out of your area of effect zone? What if this happens? What if that happens? And of course, we're pulling from one of my favorite skill trees ever, which is Moses' grenade build, which is like, what if we took a grenade that basically heat-seeked and like stayed near the enemy and like spiraled around them and like did tiny little tethers of damage to them? And you could have fun with that, where you could have like 2 different types of grenades. Grenades that are specifically meant to just get you back your energy, and then the grenades that are specifically meant to hit as hard as possible. So I don't think it's overpowered in that way either. It almost seems like a balancing act of like, okay, how can I solve for the problems in this weird skill? Because I didn't phrase it as well, but like it doesn't seem very good. It's only good because it can be manipulated with anyone who's able to understand that, if I just detonate a shit ton of splash damage back to back to back. But maybe in the world, there's like no grenade that can really do that, you know? Like, there's all kinds of ways you can basically limit things and keep it so that there's tension in or cleverness in studying it, I guess. At least that's my understanding of things like that.
Which alias should I use this
Also,
time?
I kind of want to use... they don't let me use my fucking Caesar. Damn it! What's good, Red? Red, have you seen that keyboard I showed? Not the, it's like the third one. The one with the joysticks. Have you seen that one? Not with the mouse joystick, but with the keyboard entirely made of joysticks. Did you get to see that, or did you miss that? Also, we missed you. Hello. If you want to have something stronger than that, pretty hard to get back on that level, would the grenades have... different effects? Time stop in a small area, mana stealing in another. Well, to me, I just like the idea of the main character having to solve the initial problem of, like, him like, one of the things is, that's 90% of the issue, or 90% of, like, the hook to me of the story, which I find is fun, is he always is, like, grinding his build. So, like, even though he maybe picks that skill and he thinks, this is going to be so overpowered because, of course, grenades are going to be out there, great, all that stuff. But now I want him to find out, like, the definition of splash damage is specifically, like, a massive radius. And the grenades that can do that are actually quite expensive. Shit. but then I also want him to be like, okay, that means I have to study how to make grenades in a fantasy world, which is basically like there's not a lot of people who have a specialization like this in the world, but I need to find someone who can do that, and then I need to learn how to do those, and then I need to find out how to make a lot of those. Like, to me, there's gamification to it to where you can have fun within that story. But yeah. With the grenade, but yeah, as far as like how much it can go in the future, that's the fun. But it's exactly what you guys are asking, which is like the skill doesn't define a lot of stuff. It just tells you what it's kind of trying to do. All of the stuff I can fuck with, like Kat says, would the grenades have different effects? Would it have time stop, mana steal, another one, or is that the But sorry, I misread that. But the point is that there's like all of these weird caveats that you could put that aren't explicitly said, but still are valid for like, oh, this is why the skill is not as broken as it otherwise could be, you know? And I like having fun with that a little bit. Grin pull on Sukaku, move on us? What? What? To combine with the Sparkle Blood idea, you could have your MC still have skill. Let me pause that. You could have your MC have a skill where their blood acts like gunpowder, pools of it because explosive and more blood loss, perhaps more pain. Yeah, the issue with that though is I'd have to come up with some like one of the things I kind of having fun with a Cat is the idea that the weakness of every kind of like explosive build is like self damage. You can blow yourself up essentially. So I'm having fun with that idea. So I don't want to like dab with that too badly. I do have like in the scene where he kind of has.
Volty said I meant Sukuna from JJK.
What's that? Was it JJK? I don't know what's that. JJK? Sukuna? Also sounds like Suka on these nuts. It was you have your MC still have the gunpowder. Yeah, but the gunpowder thing to me is interesting. Like I thought that it's a little sketchy because we're getting kind of close to Bakugo's power of like explosive fist, which I feel like is so iconic, unfortunately, that it's like, he's doing the Bakugo thing, you know? Whereas Moe's isn't quite as popular, I don't think, as as Bakugo. So I feel like I can get away with that one skill about the splash damage, and if not, I could find a way to gamify it and not make it different, you know? Oh, Jujutsu Kaisen. I've seen Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm just not good with names. Ooh, sorry. Red says, sorry. I've been distracted lately. I recently got Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition for free thanks to Nexus. Thanks to Nexus? What do you mean? Oh, did you get paid for your mod? Or did they just give away the thing for free? That's wild. But this is the cursed thing that out of all the things I looked at, Red, this is probably the keyboard that I'm most interested in getting. I'm sorry for showing this people who are already seen it in the chat. I apologize. But I want to show it off. It's this bad boy right here. It is a keyboard. I've been modding the fuck out of it. 90 mod. It's funny you say that. What do you call it, Red? I just showed a bunch of like the crazy high end modded stuff for that game specifically. For Cyberpunk, there's like some crazy realistic mod stuff we just ran through. You just missed a ding. That'll be the best time to pop in. Gad says, and more on the sparkling blood camper. Maybe explosive. Stuff like that. Shit, man. I was gonna say, you gotta get on that. If not, Jujutsu Kaisen is my fave of the year. Yeah, no, Jujutsu Kaisen seems awesome. I am sad. I got a little spoiler for me. I seen that a character that I liked died. I shouldn't say I liked. I just didn't want them to die, and they died. But yes, also my ear. Oh, my ear. Oh, sorry. But yes, I'm not sure if you're looking at the screen, Red, but this is to me very cool. I know it's probably a very deep cut, but I think it's also just good for my fingers. Last time you guys helped me kind of like parse out a controller, yeah. It made sense. Like the controller, like how it's just controllers are kind of hard for me, or does that to me seem like a much better way of typing because of my hand situation, you know?
Alright, all you diesel-loving rascals.
Here we go, story.
You listen on the radio and cheering live. Gather around.
Harlequin who?
It's your favorite gal, Jolly Jenny here.
She seems like a playable character, even though she's just a drawn cartoon.
30, 40, or even 50 years ago, a young man performed the miracle of diving into the flames and returning the hero. And in just a few minutes, new heroes will recreate the legendary Torrent Inferno.
I didn't expect so many people. I'm feeling a bit nervous.
I'm just chilling.
Do what you're good at, Proxy, and leave the rest to us.
Am I not aerodynamic? I don't feel
What's
like I
that
am.
thing flying around?
Good question. Eyes wide open and take a gander at this, folks. To give everyone a front row seat to this grand event, every Toward Inferno is filmed by drones.
Bye, Cat. Thanks for talking. Great talking to you, buddy.
Lone Syndicate said I want to be where that Bangu is sitting.
Inside and outside the hollow. Enough chit-chat. Let's introduce this year's factions.
Did you make him weak?
Defending, we got the Vanquishers. Pompey, Lucius, and Mars. Challenging, we have the Sons of
Drink water.
Caledon. Caesar, Lucy, and Lighter. The rules are simple. Charge into the hollow, reach Cinder Lake, and use the Spark Stone to blow up those pesky ether crystals.
Hold on.
Whoever completes the ritual first will be crowned Overlord.
Overlord. The finals have been a long time coming. This showdown's gonna be a blast.
There we go.
You're quite confident, little
Did
girl.
they sabotage him in some way?
Do your best, and try not to bore me.
A sinister moment.
All right, folks, take your positions. The Toward Inferno is officially on!
None of them are very aerodynamic.
Vanquishers and the Sons of Caledon are neck and neck as they pass the fork. Can we expect an epic showdown in the hollow?
Be careful, everyone. We're about to enter the hollow.
Cinderglow Lake, here we come.
Ooh, a lighter. Not as cool. Not as cool. Oh, there's like a driving moment. Oh, that's so cute. Hold the button to consume fuel to accelerate. While accelerating, you're safely pushed through obstacles on the road. Gotcha. We have nitrous that we can just punch through. Shittery. Got it. Got it. What is that? Okay, so we have to perform that dodge. Allows you to avoid obstacles on the road. Safely push through the road. Got it. Okay. Not sure how good I'll be with this. Ooh, it feels... Ew.
All right, we're in the hollow.
Everyone, follow this path down into the depths of the hollow.
Speed.
I'll monitor this route in real time.
More speed.
Obstacles detected on the road ahead.
Wow. Sorry.
Piece of cake.
The handling on this thing is insane.
Dangerous buildings above the
Rush
road
past
ahead.
them.
More. Oh, shit.
You okay?
Not at all.
Oh, I missed.
My hair is full of sand. That's what
Lone
you get
Syndicate
for
said,
being
not
so
fair. I
slow.
want to ride with Vasar. I'ma have a nub moment. I've been robbed.
There are more and more ether crystals around. Ether concentration levels are up too. Everybody be careful.
I am speed. I am speed. Oh, shit. Oh. That was my
There's
bad.
a huge building over there.
Probably an oil refinery, right? Big Daddy told me this place used to be incredible.
That was bad. Big Daddy's not here to support us? I hate the fucking name. It drives me nuts.
Oh, that was close.
Watch where you're going!
I am speed. Wow. The amount of momentum you would burn for that is insane.
Warning. Fire detected on the road ahead.
Ow! It hurts!
Warning. Dangerous buildings above the road
Our back
ahead.
tire totally clipped. Okay, that should have totally, yeah. Apparently we can just become like flat. Oh! God damn it. Speed.
That was a tough track.
Really? Is that all you got?
Just focus on your driving, okay?
I'm just holding down the one button the whole time. Damn it!
Watch out. It's getting more narrow up ahead.
More speed!
Sit tight, Proxy.
We're losing! I can't quite tell if we are, but I'm just assuming.
What's that sound?
Ah!
The ground's shaking.
Wow, I tried that, but it didn't happen.
Everyone.
Fuckers. Sabotaged us, I guess. Oh, ooh, what Red said something. Let me pause.
Proxy! Proxy! Wake up! Are you okay?
We are a teddy bear. I guess our consciousness is in there, so I guess we could still probably feel pain. Red says Nexus has a DP donation point system for mod authors that you can either use on a payout for PayPal or you can buy a game key. I buy Cyberpunk this time. Usually, I do the PayPal. Yeah, but Cyberpunk is a solid get. Did you get the whole thing? Cyberpunk was like 40 DP, which is equivalent to $40. 100 DP is $1. Gotcha. Makes sense. Cool. That's awesome. That's hella cool. That's also such a nice way for, like, yeah. Because there is, like, some sort of, like, I think there's ads on Nexus, maybe, so that makes sense that they kind of give it more just because, yeah, there's some ads outside of endorsements. What is it? I'm going to play some Silent Hill. See you. Bye, Bolty. Enjoy Silent Hill. Lo says, see you, Bolty, and I don't, Red says, and I don't know what I think about that keyboard. What do you mean? I don't know what to think about when it comes to that keyboard. It makes so much sense, Red, at least to me. The kind of the pitch of it is you can only basically hit one button when you're actually typing on a keyboard, and there's a lot of travel that goes around with like you reaching this way and that way, to where when you have a joystick you basically have access to five points of impact, so you can go up, down, over, left, and then you can click in on the stick, so basically you can hit so many more keys within like the slightest bit of movement, and it's faster. It also has those thumb joysticks, which I could see being good for like backspace, delete, and all that kind of stuff. But that's not really what makes it crazy. The keyboard supposedly is a keyboard that can allow you to write 500 words per minute, which is insane. Or it's just like an absurd amount. I'm not sure if that's the right phrasing of it, but yeah, just a shit ton. It's about like the fastest typing that you can do. But the way they're able to achieve that is with something called chording. So the idea is say you want to write the word because. Well, you would type in. Because you have so many fingers on point, you could basically hit B, E, C, and in whatever order you want, but you'd hit it at the same time, and then the thing would automatically know you're trying to say because, and it would automatically write because. Same thing with what, you would hit W-A or whatever at the same time, and it would automatically type what, and then you could still type normally if you wanted, but that's the idea of how you can just like hit, like in 1 second specifically, you can type a whole ass word. And it's I don't know, to me that's pretty interesting. It's an interesting way of like doing it. That's why it's to me interesting, outside of it being like pretty ergonomic because you're not having to jump around or hit a bunch of buttons all over your keyboard. Also, I feel like it would be much easier to learn like after you get through the growing pains of like there's so many times where I'm like, where is tab or where is Q or Z or whatever. When there, I feel like you'd always know because it's up, down, over to one of your fingers rather than having to look at your keyboard really quick, find it, and press. But maybe some people don't have that problem. Maybe it's just
Dang,
me.
that was quite an impact. Is your Bang Boo all right?
What's good, Raid? We miss you, buddy. How are you? How is your day going? We had a whole hell of a stream. Talk about what we're going to stream for all of next month. Probably Elden Ring first person is a big contender for at least 1 week of doing that. Hi, Grin. How have you been? Been here sooner, but I had to take a nap. You have a good rest. Yes, Cyberpunk Ultimate Edition is entire game plus Phantom Liberty. Whoo, hot damn. Red says the Nexus does not have ads for mod authors. The premium, that's what it is, premium members. That makes sense. I am both. They actually give me free lifetime membership for. Oh wow, really? They actually gave me a free lifetime membership. That's insane. Hell yeah, Red, that's sick. I'm fine. How do you get that? I'm curious. I'm fine. How are you holding up? Yeah.
I'm fine. How are you holding up?
I'm all right, just a few scratches. I'll live. The only problem is, it's just you and me now. Lucy and Leiter are missing. When the boulder fell, the ground gave way and collapsed, forming a massive hole. And when I woke up, we were here.
Master, due to the spatial distortion caused by the severe tremors, you have deviated from the planned route. Recalculating your position. Additionally, before the rockfall, A significant release of energy was detected coming from both sides of the road. Please proceed with caution.
A significant release of energy. You mean an explosion?
There were old oil facilities on that path. Did the explosion come from there?
Hey, she's sneezing. Dusty?
What's this? When we fell in here, I got covered in this glittery dust.
Dust?
Dust. Now that you mention it, Eos is covered in it too. Wait a minute. Isn't this stuff the ether powder left behind after a pure ether explosive goes off?
Hey, boards, I took it now.
What did you say, Wise? But the Outer Ring doesn't have advanced ether technology, and the city wouldn't sell such dangerous tech to the Outer Ring. So how did it get here?
I was about to say, 'tis wild that Ray literally has in his power the ability to like, just like Skyrim. You're like, I'm bored. I want time to move forward until something interesting happens. He goes to sleep, comes back up. All right, we're here. What? Someone set off the explosives on purpose. We were sabotaged.
Since we found this stuff, it wasn't an accident. We were sabotaged.
What? Who did this? Couldn't be the Vanquishers, could it? But when we were at the starting line, Pompey told me to give it my all and give him a proper challenge. He seemed eager to compete. How could he stoop so low?
Caesar, although we can't jump to conclusions, with an incident as serious as this, there's no way today's race can continue as planned. The drone should have gotten it all on camera. Bernice is watching the race. We have to tell her the truth and get her to call it off.
Understood, Second Assistant. Connecting you now.
Second Assistant.
Oh, hey, Proxy, it's you. What are you calling me for? Everything looks to be going smoothly in the Hollow, and we haven't encountered any battles so far.
Huh? Bernice, didn't you see what just happened?
What? Did something happen?
Why, something's wrong. Fairy says the footage being broadcast has been tampered with. It's not just ours. Even the footage of the Overlord is fake. The footage from both sides has been swapped out. I don't think this is just about stopping us from winning the Tour d'Inferno.
The enemy seems to be blocking information the enemy seems to want to be exposed to afterward. Yeah.
Yeah. Their actions suggest they aren't worried about getting exposed later. And there's ether explosives appearing where they shouldn't be in the Outer Ring. Could they be targeting Cinder Lake?
Are you saying Cinder Lake might be in danger?
Yes. I think Wise's guess makes sense.
It's awesome. It's awesome for the life. Yeah, it's actually a pretty reasonable amount of. I thought it'd be much more as far as how many people, over 100,000 people have downloaded my. Let's go! It's awesome. Let's type. What do you call it? I want to bring up those Cyberpunk mods I've seen Reddit, and I want to show them to you. Hopefully, we can push through this. Although I'm enjoying the story quite a bit. Caesar, what? I should stop reading these.
Caesar,
he just says
you're the leader of the Sons of Caledon and our client. So what's the plan? We can try to get out of the Hollow right now and tell everyone about what happened. Or...
You're stating the obvious, Proxy. We're heading to Cinder Lake. We can't just sit back and watch. As long as we can protect Cinder Lake, we'll figure the rest out.
I'll respect and follow your decision. Leave it to me.
All right. Since you've come to a decision, just leave the rest to me.
Wait. What are you all talking about? It sounds like something crazy happened, but it doesn't make any sense.
Bernice is 10 miles back. Okay, jeez.
Don't worry, Bernice. I'll explain everything to you later. Wise, Caesar, you two should get going. You've got to regroup with Lighter and Lucy.
Got it. A couple of minutes later, you and Caesar managed to return to the service. Oh, we're gonna play. But let's do a quick pause. Sorry, gang. I know it's annoying for having me keep pausing. It's Sunday is meant to hang out. Okay. But what do you call it? We were just watching some of this Reddit, and it's insane. This is Cyberpunk, man. The faces look creepy to me. Look like weird dolls. But the cars, dude. Oh, ew. Stop. No more faces.
Lone Syndicate said Caesar sounds so cool, just like a natural-born leader.
Yeah, I was saying. She does sound like she's locking shit down. She's rock and rolling. But this, man, is this what you're shooting for, Red? Or is it a lot more like, maybe like skimpier mods? Maybe both. Maybe both. Although I don't know if Red has this level of graphical power with the graphics card situation. Also, Red, you see about the new 50 series leaks? NVIDIA 50 series, whatever it is, 5090. They're going to be $2,000 starting, $2,000 at a base, $2,500 at the max point apparently, and that's without the manufacturing like this stuff. So if you wanted to get a better whatever graphics card, probably be even more because brands have power, all that stuff. But look at this. This one scene with the water had me fucking just losing it. Look at that. Jesus Christ. Just looks so damn good. The reflection. I'm not even a reflection guy, but that water over there. Oh, ha! Ah! NASA computer, all that. Lone says, remember that. Red says over at that. Lone, yeah. Red says, yeah, I can't run Cyberpunk like that, but I can at least run on Ultra with ray tracing, reflections, lighting, and 100 FPS. So I'm happy. That's insane. That sounds like a lot.
Let's go, Proxy.
All right, let's rock.
We don't have much time.
My season would stun everybody
in the area
in 2
ahead.
hits.
Ugh, there's no end to these things.
Luckily,
That was
we have
Lucy's
Jane
voice.
Doe.
Let's hurry.
And Jane Doe is everything, let me tell you. Oh, that's stupid. I have to be there to... Oh, okay. It's dumb. Jane Doe with her heels, man. Sounds so loud. My stomach... My tummy's turning. There's Lucy. And Lighter. Hello, Lucy.
I have arrived.
Caesar and the Proxy! Seriously? What took you so long?
Are you guys all right?
Boss, don't worry. We're fine. But the collapse just now was not normal. Seems like it was caused by ether
Damn,
explosives.
he's fast.
That's the conclusion we came to,
The
too.
sentient AI.
It's like
Telling us
someone
that.
is trying to harm Cinder Lake. We have to get there fast.
Wait, if you're going to Cinder Lake, you need a bike.
Note, I've already detected the coordinates of 3 motorbikes.
That's great news. Proxy, take us there now.
Are they old and rusty? I mean, how, man, the bikes are expensive. We must make bank out in the Outer Rim, because the fact that we just break our bike apart entirely, or like it's broken, and they're just like, hey, whatever. It's like, what? Damn. Hit me.
Missed.
Oh, chill. Oh, high speed. Hurry up and hit me so I can carry you. There, finally. God damn, man.
It's my turn.
This way. There's a spatial fissure nearby.
Speed. Yeah, most of the mods are lewd mods,
Biosignals.
close mods in support to support them. But I also have some graphica mod and gameplay mod. Ooh, I wonder what
Detected nearby.
gameplay kind of mods there are.
Let's go take a look.
I wonder if there's like mods that are like I feel like it'd be easy to make a supernatural like telekinesis mod, like a fear mod, because theoretically you would just need to make the whip mod much stronger and maybe with more force, and then make it so that you take away you make it an invisible whip, so that you're kind of just like doing these, and then you're just like sending people flying back 10 feet or like slashing them right in half, you know?
It's Morse.
Boss, that guy just now was holding a pair of binoculars. He seemed to be looking at something at the foot of the mountain.
Lone
This is where the
Syndicate said
explosion
actually
happened.
all the Sons of Caledon bikes are made of parts found from the scrap heap or in the Outer Ring.
Damn. Really? How do you know that? Is it like some deep lore thing? I mean, I guess I could subliminally understand it, but I feel like that's... Damn. Okay. Code thing happened. Here we go.
Moors,
Tons of
what's your
bitches.
status? Have you seen the Sons of Caledon? Where have they gone to?
Reporting in, boss. I've been monitoring their route as instructed, but I still haven't seen any sign of them yet.
Still haven't seen them. Those young'uns know how to handle themselves. Now that they're facing some real trouble, they can't take it.
Boss? You okay?
Moors, of course the Overlord is fine. Didn't you see him cut down those ethereals just now with a single slash?
There has never been a more untrustworthy looking guy than that man right there. It is insane that he was like, yeah, you're just totally chill.
Lucius, enough trying to suck up to me. After all these years with me, you still haven't gotten over those bad habits of yours. Turning tail and running at the first sign of danger, and underestimating your enemies when victory's within reach. As a biker and second in command of the Vanquishers, you aren't fit to lead with that attitude.
Boss, I get what you're saying. I've always been slow to learn. If it wasn't for you, I would never have even seen the shadow of Cinder Lake.
Enough. In the past, you would have fled at the mention of the Tour d'Inferno, but now you've insisted on coming along. That counts as progress. Moors, keep an eye on the Sons of Caledon. We aren't far from Cinder Lake.
Not good. The Vanquishers are way ahead of us.
But by the sounds of it, Pompey knew
Lone
nothing about the
Syndicate said when you get Caesar trust rank to max, you help Caesar fix her bike, and she talks about how each part of the bike was picked out by other members.
Damn! Okay, so it's just, a lot of it's just like subliminal, tiny, like lore side court story stuff that I'm just fucking up on. Got it. I was gonna say, also, I knew I would, I would detonate the Red a little bit when I asked about NVIDIA. That's why I asked. Red says, I'm really damn tired of NVIDIA monopolizing the industry. I agree. I entirely agree. Red says, AMD sadly just cannot compete, and Intel certainly can't. Yeah, tell me about it. They are too young, I feel, in the GPU industry. Yeah, man, I mean, I also just think, like, as much as I agree, NVIDIA, it sucks that there's a monopoly so that they can charge whatever they fucking want. It is also kind of sad because it does seem like not a lot of these other companies seem to want to invest like NVIDIA seems to want to invest. Like, as much as like I want to give NVIDIA shit, it's also insane that we have things like DLSS and all of these like things that are just really good like coding things. Like, it's a shame that we can't have like the competition and then also still support NVIDIA so that like we can have cheaper prices, but also still have the impact of all of their tech that seems to be going in the right direction, you know?
Is it just me, or does something feel off about Moors? The explosion at the foot of the mountain just now caused a huge landslide. You can see the rising smoke and dust from here, even without binoculars.
Roxy, you're onto something. Seeing something like that would usually cause alarm. Even if Moors was sent to spy on us, it's still weird that he didn't even mention this to the Overlord.
Hey, Caesar, pipe down!
Huh? Who's there?
Moors,
hello.
Time to surrender.
Not gonna happen.
We'll do some of this. We'll do this.
Okay, I'll make it pay. Here's a taste of the abyss.
Yeah, I know. It's a shame, man. I'll give. Yeah. At this rate, it's like you're literally buying a full fucking PC that's good, like a $2,500 PC, pretty good.
Trying to get away.
For one graphics card, and it's gonna suck energy like you wouldn't imagine. Like, it's apparently gonna fuck up like it requires a lot of energy.
Coward.
Boss, he escaped through the fissure.
Morris must have had something to do with the explosion back there. I've got a bad feeling about this.
Now's not the time for this. Focus on dealing with the ethereals in front of us.
Huh.
The Sons of Caledon talked a big game about having a showdown, but this has been disappointingly dull.
Boss, you might have a soft spot for that Caesar, but it's their own fault for being so useless.
Gonna kick him in there. He's gonna... He actually does look Terminator,
But dull can be a good thing. At least we won't have to worry about Cinder Lake for a few years.
What?
What's with all these ether crystals coming out of nowhere?
The ether aggregation catalyst can accelerate the crystallization of free-floating ether particles. This is tech developed by City Enterprises to increase ether production, and it works wonders in the unique environment of Cinder Lake.
Lucius, do you mean you...
That's right, Pompey. I've replaced your spark stone. Cinder Lake will be completely extinguished soon. Oh, and one more thing I almost forgot to mention. When using this
Lone Syndicate
catalyst,
said if this
the nearby
bootleg
ether
event don't shut
concentration
the hell
will
up.
skyrocket.
Yeah.
Especially for those with a weak aptitude for ether, it will have serious consequences.
Lucius, how dare you?
Sword user.
You won't get away with this!
He already cut in his eye?
How dare you give me another scar! You monster! Despite being so corrupted, you still have this much strength!
Oh no! He's gonna turn into an ethereal. I want to play him so bad. God damn you, Mahoyo, I hate you. You're the worst. Burn in hell, man. Damn it. My one character's gonna turn into a stupid spiky monster? Shit! Anyways, what an idiot. He's like, you're a monster. Meanwhile, I'm killing like a whole fucking village. You're like, Jesus Christ.
To think I ever had such high hopes for you. I was blind!
Yeah.
Do you understand the impact of colluding with the city's ether companies? What it'll do to this place?
Did you really think we all shared your old-fashioned ideals of freedom and morality, boss? The weak and the worthless have no place in this age. With the power of ether, I will establish a new order in this leaderless outer ring. A kingdom completely under my control! What is it?
Like, we all got killed.
Boss, we found the
Lone
Sons of
Syndicate
Caledon.
said you should have no Grin
They're
Hoyo
about to
don't
reach
make
Cinder
character
Lake.
with beards playable.
I was hoping. I was holding out for hope, Lone. It's always gonna be femboys and bullshit. Okay? And children. Ugh.
What? All those explosives didn't take them out? We have to retreat for now.
He just...
Seeing Cinder Lake snuffed out would have been a 90, but now it's down to a 60.
He just looks so cool. Like, he looks like the most, like, there's someone in the game company who is trying his heart out to be like, boss, look what I made. It looks so fucking awesome, okay? It looks like the coolest person you've ever seen in your life, okay? And then he's just like, yeah, okay.
Sorry,
we'll use
boss. Time to say goodbye. At least you'll be out of your misery.
Come on, Bernice.
Wait a minute. I just remembered. Weren't you disappointed you couldn't face the Sons of Caledon in a final showdown?
Meanwhile,
Warning.
What's your loop?
A significant increase in ether concentration near Cinderglow Lake has been detected.
What? What's going on?
There aren't any cameras near Cinder Lake, so we can't be sure. But it's definitely not a good sign. Damn. Does that mean we're too late?
No matter what, Lucy. We have to get there as fast as we can.
Well, long-ass quest
Foxy,
also. Hot damn.
where are our bikes?
The Fisher took them to a place not too far away. Come with me.
Get hit.
Fairy, how's the situation at Cinder Lake looking?
Rising ether concentration levels detected. I have also detected that Cinder Lake's heat signature is shrinking.
I knew it! Cinder Lake is in trouble.
We're almost there. Our rides are up ahead.
Alright, let me out. Wait. Ooh, look at a bunch of little tiny guys. Little pigs. Go, roll out. Man, Lone, are you saying that we gotta fight that guy, Lone? Next time we see Lucas, there's gonna be blood. Oh, man.
We're almost there. Cinder Lake is just ahead.
Oh, man. I'm so sad.
Caesar, that's...
Old man! Hang in there!
No. That's fine. He's still playable.
The corruption is too severe.
Caesar! Something's wrong with Cinder Lake! There are ether crystals everywhere! What on earth happened here?
It's Lucius. He betrayed me.
We'll get you out now. We can deal with the rest
There's
later.
no time. Caesar, listen. You must protect Cinder Lake.
Oh, man!
Lone Syndicate said, Grin, who do you think the boss that drops seaweed material is?
I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I didn't put 2 and 2 together. Oh, you suck. Loose company. Bunch of just fucking creeps. That's all I could say. So lame. That's unfortunate. That is ass, dude. I knew when I seen him and I was so fucking hyped. I was like, why aren't you guys getting hyped with me? That's why you guys aren't getting hyped with me. What a... man. It does make me just fucking... It makes me kind of mad. Like, I say fuck Mahoy because I kind of feel that on a level where I'm like, this is just ass. Or like, oh, man... Just like how awesome the one dude looked like. He looked fucking unbelievably sick. Like the most like a character that's gonna exist in the world. And it's always just like, no one's gonna buy him. He's got a beard or some stupid shit. And it's like, dude, every time we get these stupid little bitchy things that are just fucking nuts, I'm just so sad. I'm so sad. I thought there's a chance. There's not a chance, guys. There's not a chance. It's not like we could play a young version of him. I wouldn't even want that. I like the old grizzled guy. Man. What a waste. I would have been so fucking excited to see that he was a playable character, only for them to be like, I guess he's a boss. He's a boss, I guess. It's not like we have 1,000 bosses. I can't wait to kick Lucas's bearded ass someday. Also, for what it's worth, the theme of this boss is absolutely... It is a banger. It is a cool-ass boss. But it is sad that, like, again, it is just sad. It's just sad that, like, that's what you get. You get this dumbass shit.
He's useless. He's completely turned into an ethereal.
Lone Syndicate said, and unlike Senora, this guy definitely has no chance to be holding down the line.
Yeah.
He's the one conspiring with the Ether Corporation to extinguish Cinder Lake.
That's right. So long as the oil runs out, he can do whatever he pleases.
The shooting star!
Warning. Rising ether activity detected.
What?
I'm sorry, my friend.
Watch your blind
spots.
spots.
Sorry they made you do this. You're a good dude. A much better leader, honestly, than Caesar.
The brave.
Like, I totally agree with the whole premise that Caesar wasn't ready yet, but now she has to be ready and all that shit. Also, he just looks so fucking epic as a monster. Like, imagine if his ult turned him into this shit. Just, oh my god. He looks so cool. He looks so cool in every way.
His attack mode has changed. Watch out, everyone.
Out of our way, old man! If this keeps up.
The enemy is exhausted. Hold on a little longer.
Are you guys okay?
Caesar, don't worry about us. Just think about winning. This is the only way for the Overlord to rest in peace.
Understood. Leave it to me.
Careful. I bite. Now, you're the prey.
Sorry.
Come on, just a bit more.
Boss!
I'm here. I'm fine.
We finally did it.
But Cinder Lake, in a few minutes it'll be completely extinguished.
How How ironic. Even with the Sparkstone, it's too far away. There's nothing we can do.
Without oil, what does Lucius plan to do with the old oil field?
Unless a miracle happens.
Huh?
I'll get the Sparkstone there.
What? Wait. No. Caesar, you can't mean...
Caesar! Have you lost your mind? You'll die! Caesar! Stop! Caesar! If we can't stay here, we'll just leave!
You're right, Lucy. Even without oil, we can still make a living somewhere else. But what about the people who don't have a choice? I'm sorry, but this is what I have to do. Don't look at me like that, because I'll start to feel afraid.
Caesar, you...
Oh. She's not dead. Oh, it's sad. She's dead. Dead forever. Gone forever. No, I'm kidding. There's no chance.
Wait, there's an abnormal spatial fluctuation nearby. It's like something is coming our way.
I do feel like we're pretty fucking useless.
It's not over yet. Where is it?
Message. Oh. Huh.
Yo, we meet again.
Plot armor ass man. I'll accept it. I'll accept it. But that was some man, yeah. Sorry, I really like that. I hated that. I hated the fact that the dude who is the coolest looking dude ever fucking dies like a fucking animal dog. Also, it's so shitty because it's just like everything was cool about him. The dude looked awesome. The dude in his fucking like demonic form looked epic as shit. And then he's just he's dead. He's gone. He's gone forever. He's just a boss. Whatever. What a waste. I can't antithesize how much that is just an absolute waste. But the ending moment there, super sweet. He was willing to die for the whole place. Love it. Very sweet. I do. Again, I'm a little pissed that us as this legendary proxy seems to be pretty not legendary at all, which is ass. I was really hoping at some point in that for our stupid, dumb plushie that does fucking nothing and shouldn't have been brought along, like, at all. He did, like, 2 things, but, like, maybe this way. Absolute ass. He should have had something going on, where he should have, like, I don't know, gotten, told Caesar at the last minute to, like, jump to the left or some shit. I don't know. I know they're trying to create a moment where, like, should you see how good of a leader she is? She's trying to die, she's, like, kill herself. And it's like, you couldn't have thrown the disc orb in the thing without diving head first into it? Are you insane? Like, it just makes Caesar look like an idiot a little bit. Like, yes, I'll die because yes. Instead of, like, we could just chuck it. It's not like it does. You don't need to be there, clearly, because you weren't. You got a portal out of there. What a bunch of shit. Anyways, it was cool. The cinematography, all that stuff. It was just the overall story. It made no sense. But just how cool factor was, pretty cool.
Wise, everything's packed. We're ready to head back home.
Proxy! Good thing you haven't left. I almost missed seeing you off.
Caesar,
I did nothing.
I told you, you shouldn't have rushed over here. With everything that's happened in the old oil field, you need to be there to keep things under control.
I told you, I'm just the acting overlord. That day, even though Pompey threw in the Sparkstone that was replaced by Lucius, he was the first one to reach the finish line. The overlord title should be his.
Speaking of Lucius.
Caesar, speaking of Lucius, any news on his whereabouts?
It's gonna be lighter.
Lone Syndicate said, I want to
Haven't
ask
found his
after you
man
finish the
Moore's
story, how did you feel about the absence of the TV mode? Because the majority says 8 in agreement that Beale, Wise felt useless this chapter and that's the reason.
I mean, I love the fact that we weren't like flickering on through like whatever we call it, story TV modes. I just don't think the answer to that is like Wise is fucking useless. Like, you know, like again, it just means that Wise, that teddy bear, and they've done this in the past. One of the best when we're playing the I think it was a main story quest, but it could have been a companion quest. But when we were playing a quest where basically we were helping the detectives essentially, and we were telling the detectives when they're like moving through an ether zone, jump to the left. They're like, just trust me, jump off that building and just trust me. And of course, he jumps off. They jump off the building. I think it's the bow staff girl and the police girl. They jump off the building. Boom! They teleport into a place. They're safe. They're in a new area. Enemies keep chasing them. They tell them to go another way. Like, you can be the guide whilst also like saving people from this like ethereal thing. It's basically like the main character should be the plot armor. That's his job. He literally has like a quantum computer, an AI thing that perfectly reads out all of the anomalies in the world that specifically call, like, that's what makes them insane. That's right. That's what makes them like legends and then like crazy legends at this point. And they have not utilized that at all. At least in this one. Like, to me, the answer isn't like, oh, like, to me, it's stupid to think that, like, oh, Phaethon's whole thing is, like, you're moving through TVs. Like, that's what makes Phaethon special. It's like, your Phaethon's thing is that they're able to navigate a seamlessly ever-changing map, which makes them good. But, like, again, I can't see in any of those moments where, at the last minute, the guy that was dragged along, kicking and screaming, his main value set couldn't have been, hey, Caesar, at the very end there, jump to the left, or he could have pushed her in the side, something. Because again, it just made Caesar kind of look stupid. Again, like, I don't know if I haven't heard anybody point that out, but Caesar literally decides to jump into the fire, into the lava, when she didn't need to in any way. It's not like she wasn't like right on top of it. Like, it made no sense why she just said, hey, guess what? I'm gonna go in too. It didn't make any sense. It just makes Caesar look like, guess I'll die. It didn't make no sense. It's not like it was a hard shot. It was not anything like that. If she can fucking grind on a pipe and like bob and weave and jump off of this shit, and she can't fucking throw with any accuracy possible, what are you talking about? Like, it's just insane. Like, it would have been cooler to see her throw it and then like block because she knows there's going to be recoil, and then she like flies back. At least that would have been like, okay, she's got some brain capacity. Instead, it's just like, Caesar is... She got the heart to be a leader, but my god, the brains ain't there. She needs Lucy, like, badly. Like, fucking badly. Holy shit. Anyways, let's continue.
G-Red said, what is the role and purpose of Wise, and or his sister, anyways?
Exactly.
They seem useless since you don't play as them, except in the town.
No, I 100% agree. And again, people say that, like, the premise of the whole thing is that they're a proxy, which is basically like a guide through this ever-changing area called the Corrupted Zone or something like that, the Hollow. But it doesn't mean anything because... what do you call it? Like, we don't feel their presence in that at all, and maybe that's because they took out the TV section. But I don't want the TV section back. The TV section was awesome not being there. The TV section we already have in other things. Like, yeah, I don't think we want more TV section. It just makes it so that there's so much more work on enjoying the story. I was able just to sit back and enjoy the story, which felt awesome. I like that part. That's a win. So, S-tier story, because it was, at least at the very least, it made me feel like we were always progressing. But then they lost it a little bit there in the end, where like Wise is entirely purposeless. Even like. The AI was the only thing that helped us. Like, again, Wise was entirely pointless. The reason why is because Lighter was able to basically be like, "Hey, I have a feeling that the bombs are going off." Okay, so that the insight that Wise made with the help of his AI was reductive completely because Lighter would have gotten it. Like, there was no reason why we were here at all. Like, we did nothing, and that's a big issue because he's again the fundamental thing that we're going to. But I kind of end up feeling like. I think Fluff was saying in the next patch, we're basically going to be able to, like, wear whatever character we want. So we're going to be able to, like, go throughout the thing. I still think we're going to have the story said through Wise and Bella, but I feel like they're leaning more like, let's just tell these individual stories. But I feel like it's kind of a waste because I do like that these are our catalysts that are, like, playing off of the larger world. But I do just want them to be more valuable because it does feel like they were fucking useless this whole time.
That no-good snake. We sent Bernice and Piper to cut him off, but he got away. Looking through the stuff he left behind, we found evidence that he was colluding with an ether corporation in the city, combined with Eos's recordings that day. The old oil field
Lone
bikers are
Syndicate
well aware
said
of what
no,
he did.
that's 1.4, not 1.3.
Okay, sorry. Whatever the next one is. So not the update with Bernice, but I'm talking about the next big update. I thought, like after this whole Sons of Kaladin thing.
Proxy, I didn't get to thank you after leaving the Hollow.
You shouldn't have.
We saved Cinder Lake thanks to
No.
you.
No. Are you insane? We did nothing. It's not even like at the end there we said, hey, there's a glint over there that could possibly be like the thing that pulls it back from the brink. We said nothing. We were a part of the group that said, I guess we're fucked. There's nothing we can really do. We're hoping for like an anomaly, essentially. And yeah, it was literally all you.
Couldn't have done it without you, Caesar. When Cinder Lake was about to go out, I almost gave up hope.
You did.
All I could do was watch as he rode away, getting further and further from us.
Hey, don't get emotional on me. I was saved by the fissure hidden under the vent.
No, you didn't almost give up. You gave up. You stopped trying. What are you talking about? Absolute madness.
Isn't it crazy how that went down?
Tells Caesar Ferry's hypothesis.
A friend who's an expert on this said that due to the complex air currents around the fissure, ether particles are unable to stabilize, preventing it from being sealed off. Due to the balance between the natural gas and the ether particles, the fissure won't be moving anywhere. It's probably been there for decades.
Diving into the fiery sea, the hero returns valiantly. When the first Overlord reached the lake, maybe that's where he jumped in too.
Okay, that's a little bit better. It's kind of bad. They were alluding to this like first Overlord, that he jumped into the fire and returned once again as like a god, having made everything right. I guess that makes some sense. At least there's a callback to why she's still an idiot, but like apparently that guy was too. So at least she's like in line with the first like beloved Overlord. So I guess that does make some sense. I guess because she's following kind of in the same footprint as him. But yeah, I get the poetic story of it. I can kind of respect the storyification of it. I still just do think their criticism is valid of like Wise and Bella being like functionally useless, and I really hope that that's not a pattern moving forward. Like I hope Bowie was not like, okay, we're bringing back the TV sections. Instead, it's like, no, make our character
Lone
do something
Syndicate said,
meaningful.
honestly not sure how you make Wise and Belle more interactive in the story without the TV mode, because that's how you see through their eyes, because it is their story, but this chapter they...
Oh, I think it's really. I don't think it's difficult at all to make Bella and Wise more useful. It literally just be like in moments like that where you're in a very perilous situation and it's really bad. In moments like that, that's when you say like the guy who has all the knowledge would say, "Hey, like jump to the left," or "Hey, dive into the fire. Trust me." Like that's all it would take for like Wise to basically like, okay, that could have been a really bad situation where nothing could have been solved, and you solved it. Which makes sense because he has a supercomputer, and then she's just a fucking motorbiker. It's like she has many strengths, but Wise's strength is his understanding of the anomalies. It's insane that like they are like, no, this biker lady knows way more about that than him. It's just odd. Like all you would need to do to make Wise and Belle useful. Wise, I said, because Belle and Wise I keep saying. All it would take is have just 2 or 3 moments within the story that we actually like aid the person in a meaningful way, that if we weren't there, it wouldn't have all went tits up, you know? Or if we weren't there, it would have all went tits up. So, like, again, the best example to me is the example where you're helping the cop lady and the bow staff lady, like, run through the level, and there's a moment where, like, you're helping them through the TV section, but there's also a moment in the story where, like, the teddy bear guy is like, follow me, and he's, like, running through shit, and they're jumping off of, like, certain areas and stuff like that. So, like, I think the TV section is, like, irrelevant for like you could all it takes is like 2 moments to make Wise and Bella like 100% useful in those instances. I think.
Who'd have thought the legend of the first Overlord
I do
was
think that's
true?
cute though. Like the Overlord tie-in.
Well, this was
like
an unexpected
the legend
discovery.
that we've been hearing about.
People back then didn't know about the fissure, and the first Overlord probably forgot what happened to him. So that's where the divine intervention part of the legend came from.
True. But isn't the existence of a fissure right in the middle of Cinder Lake already pretty divine intervention-y?
Ask Caesar about the details.
Do you remember what happened after you fell into the fissure?
Parts of it, but it's hazy. I thought I was done for. In the darkness, I thought I would lose consciousness pretty quickly. But I could feel every part of the overwhelming pressure as I
Lone
passed through
Syndicate
the
said,
fissure.
"Oh yeah, I forgot
Then,
about that moment.
I saw a
Grin,
light
you're
in the
right, never
darkness
mind,
And
continue."
instinctively pulled back on the throttle and sped towards it.
Yeah, well, you go. That's the only moment that to me stands out. Like where they're like same thing with again. It's like you're just a guide. Like that's the. I don't need Wise and Bella to be a lot, but I would like it if they had a moment where like. It makes sense why Caesar loves them so much. It makes sense why the cops love them so much. It makes sense why the Bellabog industry people are like, these are our guys. Like, these aren't just, like, people we work with. These are people that we love. Because in the moments when it really matters, they come home and they come through. You know what I mean? Whereas in this story, I can't think of, like, maybe... I can't think of anything where we were, like, a deterring factor of, like, why they care for us so much. Why do they like us so much? It makes no sense. Like, we didn't help much at all. Maybe they're just lonely as hell. They just like city folk. I don't know. We spent maybe.
Next thing, I came out right on top of you all.
It was unbelievable. After you said, "We meet again," the next thing out of your mouth was, "Lucy, if I die, the Sons of Caledon are yours."
She's always had her eye on taking over as the leader of the Sons of Caledon. And in that moment, I suddenly realized that I'd never made that clear before. I thought she'd be relieved, but that lunatic jumped up, shouted, "I don't want your leftovers!" and straight up slapped me in the face.
Ha! Get fucked. Yeah, well, yeah, you also just died in front of her. She's crying her eyes out. Yeah, that was intense. It was your fault for saying that.
It's your fault for saying that. Lucy was still crying when we left the hollow.
Oh.
Yeah, Lucy was really scared I would die. But now everything's fine.
But I didn't.
Both me and
so it's all
Cinderella.
okay.
Since you're heading back to the city, let me give you something as a memento.
Ooh, I love it. Little, what is it called? A Dreamcatcher, I think. It's different in Arizona or whatever.
A sunflint!
Yeah. All of the Sons of Caledon chipped in.
Different thing, I guess.
It's a shame I didn't have time to help with the weaving. I just drew the design in the middle.
Cute. Thanks. I'll cherish it. I've never... it's a very meaningful gift. Thanks. I'll cherish it, yeah.
Thanks. I'll take good care of it.
You're always welcome in the Outer Ring, Proxy. May you rise from the ashes.
Ever feel bummed about you leaving, Proxy? Why not say goodbye? Big Daddy heard about what happened from our tour to Inferno and over to help me hold down the fort. He's eager to meet you,
Lone
too.
Syndicate said, "Grin, get ready for a lot of lore."
Is it reading, Lone? Is it raining? Is it reading? Is it reading? Because if it's reading, I feel like we're not that into lore. Happy to help. Where have you been lately? What do you plan to do next? Tired. Caesar's all honored. Pompey. Hats off to you, Senior Piper. Yeah, I feel like they kind of, I don't know why, I feel like they wrapped this up pretty tight in a weird way. It feels, the guy who had the most design, which is that big boy, to me, just, like, for him to become a monster and be done with it, and then, like, this creepy tweaker, fucking guy who betrayed him is the one we gotta follow going forward. It's like, that's a little shitty. I'm just happy they did make it so that, like, the guy that was the Overlord who has been running this whole place for years wasn't just, like, a complete and total asshole, you know what I mean? Like, he was, like, actually a really good leader that was, like, totally willing to pass on the torch so long as you're worthy. I love that. Like, that made sense. We're like, oh, yeah, this is why, like, Big Daddy or any of these big guys are like, yeah, we'll follow him because he's good enough, you know? Yeah, I can't describe how I almost don't, like, Lighter is less exciting to me because they showed us the one dude and because they yanked him away like that. Like, I'd be more excited for Lighter if I also knew that dude was available eventually in the future, you know? I can't describe how, like, the dude who's, like, the fucking badass biker with the fucking X's and shit, him not being available makes it just, yeah, it just makes me feel like Garbo. I mean, like, makes me feel like I'm very unexcited for future characters. You know, like, you're like, ooh, look at this beautiful, lovely, your favorite food, your favorite dessert. It's like the most beautiful pastry you've ever seen in your life, and it's like, doesn't that look good? It's so delicious, right? Here's a chip. just as good, right? And you're like, no, I'm not excited for the chip at all. Whip, I'm off. I mean, it is voiced. Wait, so is it voiced? No, it is not. It's not voiced. Lies. Lies. Or is it, when I talk to Big Daddy, is that going to be voiced? Lucy, how you holding up, kiddo? Sag? Are you holding back, Proxy? We acted toward... Seriously, how much do I need to pay to recruit you into the Sons of... Ooh, that's very cute. No jokes. Safe travels. You aren't gonna go back and take a look, Lucy? How are you doing with Caesar? Well, what did you complain to you? Did she complain to you?
Lone Syndicate said, you know what would be more fucked up is if Lucius becomes playable in the future.
Why? Oh, they mean the... Oh, yeah, I said Lucas. Lucas is the fucked up tweaker guy. Yeah, right. I thought you were about to say... I thought that you're like, it'd be crazy if they made the cool biker dude playable just cause... And I'd be like... I was like, why? But no, I'm bad with names. Lucas is the tweaker guy. Yeah. Caesar isn't angry. Caesar realized her slip-up. I couldn't care less about what that boar thinks, but for now, Sons of Kaladin will personally grudge aside. Caesar needs to solidify her position as the Overlord. Big Daddy and I want to bring her around. She's adjusted to her new role quickly. Lighter only knows what to do if things get messy. We've gotten all things covered. Okay, bye. Very cool. Where is the guy? I never have felt so polarized by the story. Do I want to do this yet? Yeah, gang. I never... I feel like I'm upset. Like I'm super depressed and sad that the one guy is basically like never going to happen. I feel like the cinematography, the action, the overall story was very fun. Like I felt like it was fun to watch. Like Caesar fucking ripping down the pipe and shit and doing all this crazy shit, giving her life. All that stuff was like high action. Awesome. But it's just these like few things that to me just make me go like, you know, like the fact that Wise is useless, the fact that Caesar's like just like, guess I'll die, guess I'll just drive right into lava. Like what? And I get that it's poetic because the first guy did it probably too, and he just survived in the same way. So like it's good storytelling. It's also good storytelling if you want to like paint the picture that Caesar's an idiot. Also good storytelling in that way too. Yeah, and then the Bell and Wise thing is weird. And yeah, I just feel like I've never played a story that I could unarguably be like, I had a good time, but holy shit, what were they thinking also with some of these moments? Like, it's just like, yeah, you know, it's funny that Lone mentioned the thing though, where like Grin, did you notice that like we didn't have any TV time here, like TV minigame? And I was like, no. And I felt like it was much better for it, you know? I was like, oh shit, actually, no, we haven't, and hell yeah, you know? So it's funny that you said that, because I was like, oh shit, well, hold up, wait a minute. But then I also started thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, well, again, I was upset there at the end. I thought the end there, that would be like our moment, where like, we're the guy, this is why we're invited to the club, is because we have like, a quantum computer in our brain that tells us, like, this is the way, this is the solution, this is the thing that could save you. Instead, we're just, like, tagging along as a stupid plushie that means nothing, you know? But, how long is this last part, Lone? This final hurrah? Is it just story? Or is it like a 20 minutes, 40-minute quest? I imagine we need to talk to the big dude. If so, let me see. Also, it's more like a post-story extra bit. Nah, there's a part after this that's voiced. You know what would be more fucked up is if you listen to that. I see something flying around. If you instantly, if so, instant skip from me. What does that mean? What is that? What? No, it's told through a cutscene. I just don't want to start
Lone
this.
Syndicate said there is a 50-50 split with the TV mode. A lot of people are hoping it will return for the next chapter.
Really? Why? We have it in a lot of other things. Like 10 to 15. Okay, well, right, we do that. That's ass. Those people suck. I want stuff that gets in the way of my story. Actually, yes. I want to experience less story and more random mini game that breaks it up. Great.
The sound of Caesar's motorcycle has completely faded. It looks like we're about to leave the outer ring.
It was nice of them to escort us this way. Outer Ring adventure is coming to an end. It was nice for them to escort us.
As expected of the new Overlord. So reliable. It's really cool that they escorted us all the way to the edge of the Outer Ring. They even took a bunch of shortcuts that the GPS didn't know.
Thinking about how Cinder Lake was almost extinguished, and now we're laughing and driving home, it feels like a dream.
We watched a guy turn into a monster and die. And get burned alive, actually.
What's wrong, Belle? You sound a little emotional.
Although we could only prove the fissure
Lone
in Cinder
Syndicate
Lake
said I can
exists
send
from
you a
its
video
effects.
I watch on some
Apart from
explaining why the
Caesar's
absence
bold
of
gamble,
TV mode was a bad
there
move
really
if you
was no
like
other
GRINN.
way to save it.
Sure. I don't know if I'll agree with it. Like, I get the... yeah, I don't know. Yeah, sure, send it to me. We might watch it at the end. We'll see. I'll watch parts of it. I'm not sure I'll watch all of it.
But watching Caesar fall, that feeling of helplessness, I never want to go through that again. Just like that time.
Talk to Bella.
Belle.
Wise. No wonder we're family. You must be thinking the same thing I am, right, Wise? This is the edge of the city. Eos and Fairy are here too. It's time.
Silently turning on the wheel, roaming play, service. I mean, I guess it's not a bad storytelling. It makes sense if you're thinking about this as like the next arc. So this maybe is an arc that we feel so powerless. So the reason why we basically, yeah, it could make some sense as far as the storytelling goes. Of like, no. If you're thinking about this in a vacuum, it makes sense. But if you're thinking about this as, yes, you were useless. Yes, they feel bad about the fact that they were utterly useless in this regard. This is their defining moment where they get their head out of their ass and they start doing a lot more. That makes things a little more make sense.
Master, you have deviated from your course, recalculating a new route home.
Don't worry, Fairy. We're going the right way. The road we're taking now is the real way home.
The car follows the city edge, heading into quieter and quieter areas. The road signs show fewer routes options as they go, eventually leaving only one destination. Towards the ruins of an old capital at the edge of the chasm.
We're here. Let's go up.
Come on, Eos. Don't forget your scarf.
Huh.
It feels like we haven't been back in a long time, Belle.
Fairy, do you know where this is?
Search complete. This is the center of the chasm at the edge of New Eridu. The chasm, which preceded New Eridu, was the product of the large uncontrolled hollow disaster in Eridu, often called the fall of the old capital. To deal with the out-of-control Hollow Zero during the fall of the old capital, Eridu's leaders at the time detonated the 14 Shuryu pillars from the southwest to the northeast.
Eesh.
The power of the explosion sparked a strong geological chain reaction, bringing about the formation of the chasm.
That's right. There's nothing in the chasm that can be corrupted. So Hollow Zero can't convert more etheric energy to expand, which prevents it from getting out of control.
New Eridu could only be built because of it. Without it, if you keep driving from here, you'll end up on the road to the northern side of Eridu, which is really close to the throne quarter. Within 10 minutes, you'll come upon a massive statue.
That belongs to the White Star Institute. Turning left before the statue takes you to the former main road number 7 of the Minerva Quarter. On the left side of the road were all the old civilization antique shops that Wise liked to go to. He was just a kid back then, and always fell for fake antiques.
It's a lore dump for sure.
And on the right side of the road were all the dessert shops and snack stores that Belle loved. I couldn't resist Belle's whining and ended up buying more treats than she could ever finish.
I couldn't finish them? As soon as any snacks were placed on the table, everyone would grab them up within a minute. Or have you forgotten?
How could I forget? So, at the end of main road number 7, after you pass 3 security gates, you'll see a beautiful building.
Our teacher is right there. She'll be at the entrance with Eos, waiting for us. She always liked to stand to the right of the building's plaque.
The Helios Academy. That's our real home. It's there now as well, just across the chasm, deep inside Hollow Zero, under the rubble of the old capital's ruins.
Teacher, we're back. It's been a while this time, and a lot's happened.
Wind carries away her unfinished words. Bella picks up Eos, approaches the protective fence. The bamboo stretches out a small hand and tries to and ties the red scarf to the metal net. Colorful cloth dances in the wind.
Master, second assistant, please allow me to express my condolences for the significant individual who has passed away.
That's mighty pretty.
Should you wish, I can search for her name and accurately determine her location on the memorial monument.
Carol Arna.
That name was not found in the database of victims from the fall of the old capital. Only one matching result was found in the related information. Resulted in the uncontrollable Hollow Zero, leading to the great tragedy of the fall of the city. The main culprit, Senior Research Director Carol Arna of the Helios Academy, along with others involved, will forever be etched on the Pillar of Shame.
Damn! Okay, so we're the students of the girl who is labeled to have something to do with this massive, like, city nuking catastrophe. That's pretty interesting. I wonder if that's why we have an ether aptitude, or like a not vulnerability, whatever it's called.
Speculation. The name provided earlier was incorrect, or the matching information belongs to another person with the same name.
That's her.
No, it's no mistake. The person officially responsible for the fall of the old capital is Carol Arna.
She was our teacher.
She taught us, raised us. The HDD system and Eos are among her many achievements. She also saved us when the old capital fell. Fairy, didn't you ask us why we wanted to investigate Hollow Zero? This is our reason.
We became proxies so we could collect enough observation data to one day head back to where Helios Academy once stood, deep in Hollow Zero.
We're confident that if there are clues anywhere, it's got to be there.
Belle and I are prepared to swear on our lives that our teacher isn't the one responsible. We have to uncover the truth about the fall of the old capital and clear our teacher's name. She's innocent, because...
It's crazy that we're like 5 chapters in and we're finally getting to like our motive.
Warning, an unknown entity has been detected nearby.
Huh? Now? Who would come here?
Oh.
You're the head of Section 6, Hoshimi Miyabi.
Oh!
That's correct. And you're the leaders of the independent investigation team with the exceptional guide bamboo. I did not anticipate being bested by you.
We're honored you remember us. But being bested by us, what do you mean?
I am training to be the first to reach the Chasm Memorial. I would like to spend some more time with her, alone.
Miami gets straight to the... What? Miami goes straight to the monument, by the protective fence and softly touches one of the names inscribed on the surface.
So you're here to pay your respects to the deceased too?
Yes. My mother.
My condolences.
She's gonna be a deterrent.
I hope you can find peace soon.
Thank you. But I don't intend to find peace.
You don't want to find peace?
She wants revenge.
Indeed. I shall not seek peace until all those responsible for the fall of the old capital are apprehended.
Edgy. Piercing gaze quite burns depths of her crimson pupils. Gotcha, she's peeved.
I'll catch them all. None will escape me.
Edgy. That night. With the dust settled, we all gotta do what we came to. Gotcha. Perlman wants a sacrifice hidden in the moment. Yeah, we went there to get Perlman, right? Has something to do with healers. Okay, so that's the overarching plot. That's kind of neat. I'm happy that we know about it now. Yeah, we're etching closer to the truth, but we have to stay cautious. Yeah. Officers, Count Dark. Yeah, that. Luckily, we got some solid allies. Yes, I was about to say I think that's gonna be cool. Like eventually, when we do want to venture inside, I bet that'd be cool to see like everyone come around and be like, "Hey, need help? We'll help you with this." You know, we're making quite a bit of friends. Absolutely, the Cutting Hairs, Bilbog, Industry, Vittoria Housekeeping, the Sons of Kaladin, and maybe even Zhu Yang and Qin Shi. With them on our side, we're not doing this solo anymore. Jane Doe not in there apparently. You forgot to mention the most, the Sun. Wait, a reliable and powerful AI companion of all new Iridu. How could I forget about you, Fairy? Let's keep, yeah. Thank you for your trust, Master. I'll be here to help as always. That was a bit cheesy, you two. It's late now. Let's head to bed. Good night, Belle. Tour d'Inferno. Okay, so we finished. We caught up on all the story. Took a millennia, felt like, but hey. Sleep. You close your eyes. Before today, you hardly even talk about what happened back then. Not even between you and your sibling. The memories of your memories are fresh, like teacher. We have already. The morning already. You might have dreamed, but it's all a blur now. Teacher, you might have already. I'm not sure what that means. A new day ahead.
Lone Syndicate said, "Nope, you're not done."
No. Oh. What do you mean? What do you mean? Hello. Don't worry, everything's fine. Why are you being all sneaky, Bella? You're awake. 18 open stores. That. People, why are you here? Me too. I don't know what I'm clicking on. Talk to Bella. Go to the soup, I guess? Yeah. Oh, there she is. Yabba something. Yay, we don't get words. I don't care about you. I don't care about you. They could have given you slightly more bottom, okay? And they didn't. You look like an NPC, guys. We could have fucking had a dude that looks wild. A biker dude who was massive, cool as hell looking thing, beard and everything, and instead we get this. We're gonna save for my no. They came at a bad time. We are not, unfortunately. Biscuit. Or Biss, I should say Biss. We are waiting. Maybe we'll go for lighter, although after seeing them show us one of the coolest character models ever and then take it away. Honestly, they showed us the coolest character model ever, and then they showed him turning into a fucking godly-ass cool monster, and then we don't get him. They showed us two cool forms, and we don't get either one. It's been a while, Chief. Do you remember who I am? It's been a while. Yep. Thank you. That happens all the time. Have I mentioned that before? How do you know? Was that too forward? I gathered intel on Section 16. It's my job to know partners well and organizations that made you uncomfortable. It's okay. It's all part of working on improvements. So can I have a little comp in this? By the way, if swing by your store, have some time off today, maybe I can find something to rent. Of course, even better if you get of course. They always try to sell you the membership. I'm not a big fan of memberships. That's why I'm like, no, thank you. Yeah, hello. You've got a great collection here. Is there something that you'd like to watch? Would you like a recommendation, something you'd watch? I love it when things aren't voiced. Do you want to watch a comedy? Sure. Do you want to watch comedy? Bob woke up the big thing. That he embarks on the 10-minute journey. Gotcha. You don't like it? After borrowing that system, we've got full of evaluation forms tomorrow. I need a reminder. He's a busy to let Bangbu fill it out again. Trigger the workaholism. I better look for something different. Like that. Good. Sounds good. That. Gotcha. Section 5. You're taking about work again. Oops, sorry. At the last gather. She's trying to, like, sneak in, like, hey, come on. Lone says, God damn. Look at the harada on her, like, circumference of each one, like, perfect hands. I'm gonna need you to talk me out of pull. Don't pull for her. Yeah, harada maybe, but Caesar's S tier again, man. She's like, she definitely feels like the character they made after they made every other character. You know what I mean? Where they're just tired. They're just like, I don't even want to do this anymore. You know what I mean? And they're like, I don't know. Let's just call her a MILF or something and make it so there's some angle there. I forget the gathering now. Maybe the road tour is not for you. All this. We're just helping her decide a movie. This is irrelevant to anything. Just collect the job. I'm sorry I'm being so despair oriented. I'm peeved that, again, this is a bad way to introduce a character. Like, here's a character without any voice that we're just gonna dump a bunch of exposition on you. It's like, what the hell? You probably want to introduce a character with dialogue, so the voice actor can do the heavy lifting. Instead, it's just my dumbass like having to read so much that I know is wild comment. It's a little wild. Lone gets a little
Lone Syndicate said, but GRINN, she's a MILF though. Low.
I know that. No, I know that. That's what I mean. I'm saying that, like, they designed her and we're like, just make her like a secretary, I guess. Sure, all that. And then the second thing, they're like, I guess we need some angle. I guess MILF, sure. It just, all of it feels phoned in. All of it feels like, first of all, she doesn't have the whole MILF thing. Like, if I showed you her, I don't think your brain would go MILF. I think your brain goes secretary. I think it goes secretary, locked in, full send. It doesn't, like, mess around with these other things. Just collect the job as offbeat stuff from supply for free. I don't know. None of this matters. We're never going to talk about this again. It's irrelevant to everything that's going on. It's just, yeah. I hate the game does this all the time, and it drives me nuts. Where it's just like, here's a bunch of random shit that doesn't tell you about the character. It just tells you she's a workaholic, and we know that. We don't need all the things. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be right back. I gotta go make a phone call real quick. Sorry, I know we're stopping in the middle. I'll be right back. Someone just phoned me. I need to phone them back. I'll be right back. Sorry. Ooh. Talk among yourselves. Ooh. Could I have like 10 minutes? I'm still screaming. I know screaming. Okay, bye. Okay. Now I'll run over. Okay, bye. Oh. All right, my dudes, we gotta be quick. Oh, my leg. Oh. Okay, let's hurry up and get through this. At least to work into a breaking point. New customer. We need to settle things. Like, yes. Videotapes, all that stuff. Oh, I want to look at all the things you guys sent me. Okay, sorry guys, we have to like wind down super fast. But Lone did send us his Nikita's. I apologize. My dad needs my help to do something on a trailer. He needs to pull off a trailer pallet, and he needs my help. So I want to be there real quick. For him, where is the Nikita thing? This is this. Can I click on that? I think so. Mute it.
Lone Syndicate said everything okay, GRINN.
Yeah, it's okay. My dad needs help on pulling down a pallet off a truck, so that's why we're kind of got to wrap up. Sorry. We could have went a little bit longer. But this is Lone's new Nikita's. I like it. It's not as risque. It's got like a, I don't know what it is, like a magic person? Wild ass, as always. Nikita is a freak. It's a freak game. It's just a wild game. Which uses magic that's the most non-magic thing ever, where she just blinks it in a magazine into her clip. Cute? I guess. I'm not sold on this one. I like that it's not just completely naked, but I do think she looks kind of generic a little bit. Like, the white hair, the little thing in there, looks pretty normal. Not very different, I guess. Let us do face cam things. She will raid, not that. Also, proper pair, super well with burn. Yeah, no, again, I don't disagree that she's going to be good. I just don't think she's the most interesting character I've seen. At least out of the whole lot. What do you call it? Lone did send us this also. Let's, yeah.
New 1.2 update. Can't wait to see all of the fun and inventive ways we get to
What's that? Gameplay?
interact with the TV mode. Wait, what? What do you mean there is no TV mode?
TV mode is the problem.
So, in the newly released Zenless Zone Zero update, the TV mode has essentially been axed in Zenless Zone Zero. And as an outspoken TV mode enjoyer myself, I'm here to break down why it's both good and could be bad. Let's go. So, firstly, the fact that developers are listening to their fans is good. Great even. But why could this be bad for the future of Zenless Zone Zero? Well, a game for everyone is actually a game for no one. If we continues to listen to the loudest members of their fan base, we could end up going down a slippery path. And I'll unpack that for.
No, I mean, the only reason why... Sorry, I kind of push back a little bit on that because it seems a little bit like it's... Also, I wish I had more time to actually talk about all these because we're already pinched for time. But, what do you call it? That feels a little weird to me when people say, like, a game for everyone is a game for no one. I agree, but I also think that, like, okay, but everyone's always just going to, vote for what they want the most. To me, like... regardless of the TV mode for a lot of people, especially when you're doing story, it gets in the way of you actually like sinking into the story. The next thing happening, okay, cool. Now we're running to go save this person. Awesome. We go into the next encounter. We're feeling that like the next thing just happened. Like cutscene detonation. We go into this thing, we kill this thing, cutscene detonation. Rather than like, we're trying to find out where we're making our way through this hollow, and then it's like 10 minutes later after you're done running around collecting some shit. Not that the game mode is bad, it's just it impedes the story aspect of it. I'm totally game for the gamey mobile phone weirdness when it's not at the detriment of the story being told to you. If it's like a side quest and all that shit, absolutely. The point of the side quest isn't necessarily always a story. It's about like the fun gamification of everything. But yes.
But first, let's start.
Sorry for being so zippy, by the way. It's just your brain will adapt and we're pinch on time. Also, this kid talks a little bit slow.
Heading to 1.2 is incredible. We got the battery bank, we can now switch between the Ys, we can also change the time, we got squad slots, some mobile updates, and there's probably stuff I missed, but it feels like the Zenless Zone Zero team are really taking on the feedback, listening and implementing that feedback in a way that's great for the quality of life for the players, and long may this continue. Additionally, I will say that in support of the removal of TV mode, I do feel that any TV mode enjoyers are in the minority. From my experience reading comments on videos, Reddit, and in my own Discord, it certainly seems like there's not that many TV enjoyers. So it does make sense for them to listen to the overwhelming majority who don't like it and work to remove it from the game.
I don't dislike TV mode, I just don't like it when it impedes the point in which I like again, not everything is good with everything. Again, I think there's a moment where TV mode makes a lot of sense, and there's a moment where TV mode just impedes the pacing of the story.
And it did mention in the developer forecast that TV mode won't disappear entirely. It'll just be gone from story mode, and it will come back more fun.
Perfect!
Additionally, they've been
That's great! That, to me, I think is the best idea. Like, it shouldn't be in story mode. I don't know why... Like, I think that TV mode enjoyers... I don't know how people could argue that it doesn't impede the story. Like, when someone says, you're frantically trying to find how to get to this location, and then you're immediately hard cut to, like, you seeing a square, and you're like, oh, I'm chasing after this thing. Jump, jump, jump. You've collected a spark. Boom. Jump, unlock door, play weird minigame that's pretty easy to do, go to next thing. Oh my god, we've arrived. It's just like, I don't know how, I don't know how that can possibly, yeah. I don't know, let me turn it down. I'll try to slow it down a little bit. Let's do, we can do 25, we can do 1.5.
It'll just be gone from story mode, and it will come back more fun. Additionally, they've been receiving feedback on the game since beta, and even then, it seemed like the majority of players did not like the TV mode. So it's not like this decision to remove it is not based on a substantial amount of feedback, because I would imagine that they have been collecting and collating that feedback since the first beta, and potentially it was already planned for them to start dropping the TV mode around now in 1.2. If that feedback loop of players not vibing with it continued. So I don't think this is a decision that's been made off the back of just 1 or 2 feedback surveys. It's been a long process, and potentially, as I mentioned, they were always planning to bode well for the future of the game. In relation to 1.0, I think it was really important that we got to know Belle and Wise and how they interact with the world when they were inside the hollows. Now, if we compare that to where we are now, considering that 1.2 barely showed TV mode at all, it made Belle and Wise feel completely like side characters. And I know 1.2 was about the Sons of Kaladin.
Okay, because I understand the point he's making. He's basically saying, like, well, TV mode makes it so that this feels better. Okay, let's say that TV mode was there. Does that make the story and everything better? So, like, to me, it is a weak answer that Wise, like, the value of Wise is playing this weird game mode where you're jumping around. Like, is that the best answer to make Wise and Bella feel like they are genuinely important to the story? Not really. Like, to me, it's like, okay, like, it feels like a game mode first rather than a mechanism that the story is using to make it so that you feel empowered and powerful. Yeah, like, to me, we talked about it, but they've done this in the past with the previous stories where they have basically shown that, like, Wise is like, turn left right now, and they immediately are able to save the day because they're finally able to get to the end. They're able to escape the enemy. Again, where Caesar's jumping fucking headfirst into fucking lava, it'd be great for Wise to yellow, jump to the left, and then she saves herself and she saves his day. That makes Wise valuable. If we then contrast with like a moment like that where Wise shows up, he saves everyone, Lucy, Lighter, they all see how they just saved the leader of the group. They fucking are now like locked in loyalty with us. If we change that to then you basically going up, up, down, back around, collect random shit along the way, because I guess Wise is like, hey, bitch, we gotta get money. Whilst we're also on a very extreme tensionist job. We're like, oh my god, we're running to save the forge thing from becoming a hollow or something like that. Let me pause and go get some random money in the corner, because that makes sense. And like disconnect from the urgency of the story. Okay, cool, we did that. Now we're like moving 2-bit by 2-bit through a location to get to the thing. It just doesn't. To me, it's like, that is, not that it's a bad answer, but I don't think that's the strongest answer for how to make Wise and Bella feel like they're actually more of a character. I think you do that through the story.
The story felt so minimal, but they were there, or they were supposed to be, at least. Minor spoilers.
I get the
I'm
criticism.
not spoiling anything about the 1.2 storyline, so Chapter 4, skip ahead 10 seconds if you don't want to hear anything, but I promise that it won't spoil your enjoyment at all. There was a cutscene towards the end of Chapter 4 where Eos is there with the Sons of Kaladin, and Bella Wise says a line, and I was like, oh yeah, they're supposed to be our main character. Where have they been all this time? Oh right, navigating the Sons of Kaladin through the Hollows. Now I remember. Now, as 1.2 saw the drop of TV mode initially, I can't help but feel that Bella and Wise would have been a more present part of that experience if we were still doing the navigating, and I imagine late into development the developers made this decision, as I've mentioned that Bella and Wise felt kind of absent. So really this negative isn't against the removal of TV mode, but the removal of the importance of Bella and Wise to the story.
Oh, I'm entirely agree. Okay, so saying something.
Supposed to be cracked anime superheroes, but maybe a few more lines of dialogue would have sufficed, given that we were losing.
Yeah, I like the idea that you're like, it's like one of my favorite anime, which is Blood Blockade Battlefront, which is basically you're basically a useful lens. So like everyone around the main character in this anime is like overpowered, super strong players in this world, and the main character is basically has like a value set that everyone values, which is like they can see things because they have these cursed eyes. In this context, it's the same premise where you have fucking Sons of Kaladin, which are like tanking fucking world-ending smashes and shit, like just huge impacts. They're basically gods, but we're valuable because we can basically get them through this, like chart a course through this very dystopian area.
That navigation that tied us as players to the twins. I hope that moving forward, as we see more story content that has likely been built from the ground up to incorporate less TV mode, that they find a way to bring in a bit more focus on Bella.
Great, I totally agree.
Of feedback. Some of you may have noticed that I started this video a little differently, and there's good reason for that. See, I got some feedback that my opening was pretty alienating for both whales and dolphins. Now, people who identify as water-dwelling mammals aside, I took this feedback quite seriously, and decided that seeing as I have more negative feedback than positive, that it was time for me to axe this video is not for whales and dolphins part of the video.
I like it.
I don't think this will happen to Zenless Zero. I think they have a plan on how they're going to reintroduce TV mode and make it more fun, because they did mention this in the developer broadcast, and it did feel a lot smoother in that one time. I think.
Yeah, no, I am entirely behind the developers in their assumption that TV mode is fun, it is kooky, it's weird, but it does impede story, especially when it comes to things like urgency, emotional depth, all these things. Not that you couldn't have moments where it could kind of work, but I much preferred the moment. Like, would you rather TV mode or the fucking awesome driving segment where you're dodging things, you're playing this into this like massive thing they've been building up for a long time? Like, that to me feels so much more like, holy shit, that feels much more grounded, much more connected. Yeah, like that to me feels much more locked in. I enjoy that part of it quite a bit. So I'd much rather that. But again, that could just be like an individual person's interest and stuff like that. But thank you for sending that loan. I wish I could have taken my time to watch all of it at normal speed. I want to go help my dad, so I'm not a bad son. And all that stuff. But again, to my takeaway for the DLC, because we're kind of wrapping up at this point, I very much loved it. I loved the changes. I loved the Sons of Kaladin. I do think there were moments in the story that were like so befuddlingly weird that it made it hard to like accept a little bit. Like, one, the inaction of our character, which again, I don't even disagree with that for the story, because it seems like that was the point of the story of like Wise and Bella dropped the ball big time. They were about to watch someone they deeply admire die, and that affected them emotionally, and that basically made it so that they both looked at each other like, we need to get much stronger and become much better. That could be so long as this isn't a normal, and it all is defined by what comes next. Like the story that comes next, are Bella and Wise going to be like they're going to be pushing themselves further to go like actually apply something in this world, like to actually help their friends and actually like be a player? Or are they going to be like, we're just here to help, I guess? Like, yeah, and then people die in front of you, and you're like, well, I should have probably done more. So it could be like they did enough story stuff there at the very end where you could kind of see how this is the anime ending arc where the main characters have to realize how weak they are so that in the next following arcs, they fight harder to become stronger. That could be a thing. So I can't quite push on it too much because that could be the way the story is being written. I despise that the dude that looks the coolest is not a playable character and instead is reduced to a boss, and all of that. But ladies and gentlemen, I wish I could spend some more time with you, but I've already kind of went over time. Thank you so much for your time. I will see you hopefully Thursday. Thank you so much for tuning in, Raid, and of course Lone, and of course Bulty, and anybody else who's still here. Appreciate you so much. Also, Bulty says, I don't know how you can understand anything when you are sped up that much. I mean, what do you call it? First of all, you can get crazy, Bulty, or Ray. You can get all the way up to like 3x. Also, Ray, what's good, Ray? Thank you so much for being here. But ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'm off to go help my dad. Hopefully you enjoy, again, the rest of your day. There might be a video today if I have some time. What's good, Nog, please? Also, I know you're always here. I'm just saying what's up because you're popping up. Thank you so much for being here as well, guys. Hopefully I can see you on next Thursday. And goodbye. And goodbye. I'm not sure if that got through because when I transition, it always takes a long time. Actually, it mutes my mic, weirdly enough.